Wake up, gamers, because you're listening to the Big Think Dimension with Dan and Bob Video Games. You know what? I'm gonna get sick and take a break. You enjoyed the Just Chatting stream.
No.
Chris Wolfhard.
More like a nanja.
And Dr. Aggro.
Just one more, bro. Just one more acquisition. I swear we'll fix capitalism.
Here on GigaBoots. Okay, but only because you asked so nicely.
Works every time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 271 of Big Think Dimension. I'd like to announce our new cast member, Bob.
Hey.
I'm really glad to finally get you on the show. I've been wanting to work with this man for years.
Yeah. No, we're all excited to have Bob on the show. Hey, Bob.
Yeah, what's up?
I need you to remember that even though you're the new kid around here, and you know everybody's real excited to have you on, that there's a fucking pecking order. All right. You call me senpai, you fetch my coffee.
One second, I'm just gonna...
Okay, senpai.
Nope, I was a little turned on by that, and now it's weird. Stop it, shut it down.
I feel like that maybe falls on you a little bit. One second, though. Okay, here we go. I found a way to, because the stream seemed a little off from the direction it took immediately. I feel like I can change this. We can fix this. Here we go. We're just gonna, and then there you go, Aggro. If you could give him the talk again, you know, we're just there we go. Okay, Bob, now as a part of episode 1 of Big Think Dimension, your initiation ceremonies to help us hide this dead body.
Oh, no.
God, those new playgrounds weird me out.
Yeah.
Like I get that you have a retainer wall to keep the play sand in the area as much as you can. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I had some Wild West unsupervised playground time when I was a kid, and that is Tiny Tots American History X waiting to happen.
No!
See, the ones that always get me are the ones where instead of sand, they have like the rubber, like the rubber gravel.
Oh, yeah, where it's all one piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, God, this is doing nothing if a kid trips. It
No,
might
wait, the one where
worse.
it's like the one big mat, or the one where
Or
it's
the
like
one's
mulch
crumbly.
made of rubber?
Yeah, I assume the
It's like-
first, right?
It's like, are you familiar with stucco?
Yes.
Imagine that, but rubber. And that's the entire ground of the playground.
Yeah, because I've seen both. You know, to some extent, I thought the one that was like gravel but fused together one, I thought the intent with that, right, with that rubberized thing, we're talking about rubberized, was like, oh, when it gets hot, it won't be as bad. It's still black, motherfucker. It burns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think that's... I figured that it probably...
Is to soften the blow if you fall.
Right, and does something, but I don't know.
Well, sand does that better.
Sure
Yeah,
fucking does.
It does, but then it get dirty, and we
And
can't have
Anakin's
that.
been angry the whole time. I feel like
Yeah,
we could have avoided the dark side.
There-
if not for
you
the sand.
hardly... I hardly saw it as a kid. I think there was only like 1 or 2 playgrounds I ever saw with it. But the wood chips instead of sand, like the bark.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah, I've seen it and just looked at it and been like, but I don't, like, I've never, like, by the time I saw it, it would have already been weird. I would have been old enough where it would have been weird for me to be on a playground.
Right. Yeah, same thing happened with me, the rubberized ones. Like, they put that playground in Niceville, but it was like when we were in...
The one next to the library?
Yeah, next to the library,
Yeah.
which I think went in when we went to middle school or something, so it had already been weird.
Yeah, I think that happened around the time we were like freshmen in high school.
Yeah,
like it was
maybe.
that exact sort of era of us just being like, man, imagine if we had a fucking place to go. The weird thing about Niceville, and I would love to hear Agro's perspective on this, is it feels like we literally grew up in the uncanny valley of shit to do. Because before there was an arcade, and before there was a place for kids to hang out at all. And then there were drugs sold there, allegedly, and controversy. So that gets shut down and goes away. And so the only thing in Niceville to do was Magic the Gathering card shop. I'm trying to think of one other fucking thing.
Basically, but I mean, that's also a store. So at a certain point, it's like, yeah, you know, like hang out. and buy something.
Buy something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Combined with the fact my brother, by the way, 5 years older than me, went through ROTC 5 years before me, and ROTC back then meant 3 years of you watching Top Gun about 12 times a year, and then they give you a credit for a course taken.
Don't forget the part where you have to stand up while they play Proud to Be an American way too loudly.
So Florida is opposed to homosexuality, but keeps making you watch Top Gun.
Yeah,
that doesn't seem correct.
And then they ask you how many lights there are, and they get mad if you say the wrong number.
Look, Florida's power system, it treats homosexuality the same way it treats communism. It doesn't really understand what either of these things are, and so is completely unequipped to oppose them, but it is very enthusiastic about doing so.
Just so you know, I'm against this. Sir, we've seen your likes on Twitter. Uh-oh! Slide whistle sound?
Is Top Gun gay? Yes. And they get like it's Picard screaming, Top Gun is gay! As he leaves the torture room.
Yes. Oh my God.
God. It'd be cool if any Floridian politician was as competent as a Cardassian.
That's a power scaling that doesn't sound generous.
When you got Ron DeSantis and Matt Gaetz, you can do worse than Gul Dukat. You can do worse.
This is a gaming podcast. I'm not sure if anyone who's coming to this for the first time.
Yeah, sorry, we don't normally talk about Star Trek so much.
In the playgrounds. The playground tech, even.
Yeah, we don't normally talk about those. Yeah, I got really upset when my first year in RTC, they tried to teach me shit about planes. I went, what the fuck? That never happened with my brother. What the hell is this? Then we went to graduate. My brother, his senior trip, what was it? It was like Universal Studios, and they like the theme park, and they closed the park, and it was exclusively for them. Us, we go over one bridge and go to a water park we, of course, have been to a dozen times because it's right over the bridge.
Yep.
That's our senior trip. Anyway.
And then we were a little too late for everything. Like, they added a video editing course like the year after we left high school.
Bob, would we really have been interested in a video editing course? How much was that camera we split up? Because our first YouTube channel, we split up between us and four other friends, one of which was Aggro. The cost of a camera, because I was poor as shit, and none of us had that kind of money lying around.
Yeah,
it was like 600, 800?
Something like.
Yeah, somewhere around 600 or 800.
There.
And that was just and that was a rather good image quality camera, but since we didn't have any training, we didn't fucking know that auto white balance bad.
Right.
Get a white thing and then white balance it and then tell it, do not change this. Yeah, that was it sure would have been nice if we could have done some video production in fucking high school. They had a weird exclusive club for the video production thing.
They did, because I remember they aired some of that on the high school TV, whatever that was.
Whatever you call that moment or era, where it's just like, oh, we're playing programming made by other kids to announce boring news, and then maybe there's a funny skit in the middle of it. That thing was that was a tiny course. It was like 12 people.
I bet, yeah.
Yeah. Anime club could have bullied them. But technically, I think that even counted as a credit. Like, if you took that, that was an actual class.
Wow, yeah,
they didn't do that after hours. Yeah, no, they did not advertise that, and that's why I didn't get in.
Right.
Because I didn't know. I think it may have also been only for gifted students.
It probably was something like that. It's like only for
people who are interested in doing too much homework. Would you want to be interested in video production? I'm like, no.
There was a whole slate of secret gifted courses you had to know how to get into.
AP, that's what it was called, right?
Yeah, well, yes. I think that gifted is just another word they use to broadly describe that. And
well, no, yeah, AP is a specific thing, but there were just a bunch of semi off the books credits.
Yeah. Which, as a kid, you go, oh, I guess it's just not for me because I'm used to everything being not for me. I'm poor. But as an adult, you go, hey, what the
right?
What the fuck? Kid-Me could have used that. Oh, wow. What the fuck were I talking about? Definitely not video games.
No.
So Bob missed last week, which means I'm sure he has plenty of video games to talk about. But first, we need to talk about what video games I've been playing.
Oh, not Haze again?
Fuse?
Yes, Fuse.
I was like, why would we talk about the piss game? It's been a year and a half. Okay.
Single war game.
Now, you see, Bob, Haze had things in it you can remember, which Fuse didn't have at all.
Hey.
It had 2 scenes.
Fuse has that one scene of like, yeah, that girl used to be my girlfriend. Yeah, we just vaporized her.
Yeah, we just fucking launched a rocket that let out some horrible biological warfare nightmare that demolecularized her and everyone on the island. We're the good guys. And then there's the ending where they don't explain it at all, but you then have the fuse. They could have cut a trailer for Fuse 2 using like the tick tick boom or click click boom, you know, because you're gonna explode because you got a fuse.
Oh yeah, okay.
You're gonna blow up on them. They could have. I talked about it extensively. I covered most of what I wanted to, but I did forget one thing. But now I've forgotten the thing I forgot, so I don't get to cover that either. But Bob, you are free to talk about Fuse.
I just wanted to make sure you told them about demolecularizing the woman.
Yes,
because there's not much else to talk about.
Yeah.
Other than, oh man, that game sure is completely ruined by having giant robot to take 1,000,000 hits.
That game sure is ruined
by... That sure is the 7th gen specialty. Here's an enemy that takes way too long to kill.
Yeah, this enemy's hard. We designed the hard enemy. Okay, did you make sure it was still fun?
What's fun?
No, the other parts are supposed to be fun. I am here to sadly tell you. They are not.
Yeah, difficulty is when you use the mechanics in a way that tests the player's mastery. Right, we're a 7th gen game. We don't have any mechanics. Just give them more health.
Difficulty is when it takes way longer than it should to get past a single enemy unit.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, how long something takes is how difficult it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are also other parts of the game which I talked about last week, but I might as well bring up again in the presence of Bob that they clearly designed the battles around you're going to want to use the fuse guns on these machines because they have the barrier that only breaks and you can actually damage them once you shoot them with enough fuse bullets. But the stealth person can end every human's life simply. So you really just have this weird dynamic of, man, if I had 2 or 3 people playing, this would get enormously easier.
Yeah.
Because you would have shield guy, stealth girl, and a person with a good gun to actually take down these annoying fucking mechs.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, takes way too long. Way too long. Somebody in chat pointed out, I did not bring up one of the funniest lines from the game, the exchange that was like, you dated a psychopath just because she was hot? And then he goes, yeah, why else would I date one?
Okay.
Insomniac.
I'll accept that premise.
That's really fucking good writing. It was, that's fair. If you had some other reason, that would maybe be less noble. I don't know. Complicated. But yeah, that's but you didn't.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm
okay,
good.
Great.
It's not Fuse.
So I get to talk about last Friday's stream where I was fucking mortified to do a just chatting stream, and if I didn't announce it on Thursday, I would have just fucking backed the fuck out. But I did a 13-hour just chatting death stream.
Incredible.
Where I ranked Pokemon and Castlevania and Mega Man and a bunch of other things and just talked to chat about stuff and finally did the thing we said we would do in the last Asian street food video of giving myself Blade Runner lighting as I stare at delicious food and cry.
Great.
You look hungry. I could fix that. And I'm just like... that was really good. That was really good. The food. I don't know about that stream. That's not for me to judge. That's for other people to judge. But
it's probably terrible.
It seemed okay. I didn't see a bunch of people go, "You suck at this." So I'm gonna count that as a victory. Yeah, Yeah, for anyone who didn't hear, the reason I did that is because I'm always really attracted to the notion of doing a just chatting stream, because talking to people in chat is the fun part of streaming to me. Getting to talk to you and Bob, of course. But then we removed the Bob element of it, and then it just became you with no game to distract. And that's scary. So that's why that stream was so scary. But it went pretty well, I think, all things considered. I got the rain effect going.
Yeah, you got a lot of lists made, a lot of rankings done.
Yeah, a lot of rankings done. People wanted me to rank Kingdom Hearts games, but since I'd only been through a lot of them once ever, it felt a little weird. Because I would have opinions on like the mainline ones, Dream Drop and Birth By, but once you get outside of that even slightly, my brain's like, I don't know.
The rest doesn't matter.
I don't know.
It's okay. We don't have to pretend.
I didn't play 358 over 2 days.
It's fine.
I didn't need to. I didn't play. No, I played as I played it as much as I wanted to of the Game Boy Advance game.
Chain of Memories.
Yeah, Chain of Memories.
Yeah.
So I'm good. But yeah, so when's the PlayStation franchise tier list though? I don't know. I don't know if somebody properly made that. The problem with like a lot of other people is they don't realize how many things get through the cracks. It's only us here at GigaBoots who are damaged enough to remind you that Puppeteer is a game on the PS3 that no one played. Starhawk happened. Y'all remember MAG? See, only we are capable of just doing this nonstop. But yeah, Knack 2, way up that list, by the way. Way up that list. It's really impressive. Yeah, that's it. I'm done talking about that. It was a good stream. I almost went live again on 3 different days, but didn't for various reasons.
Yeah, you even texted me about like going live with stuff, and I was like, oh, okay. When's that happen?
You're like, sure. Wonder when that's gonna happen. Spoilers, never. Mag, the Thinking Man's Helldivers 2 is the most wrong chat has ever been.
Wow.
Yeah. That is, like, I know you're saying that as a joke, but that literally, there has never been a wronger sentence typed into my chat.
I don't know if there's a shooter that involves less thinking than Mag.
Yeah, it's like march forward and fucking die. It's literally a really good simulation of a world war.
Right. It's like, yeah, there sure are 200 plus actual people here all firing guns. You aren't surviving.
I will die to random bullet fire before I see anyone involved in the conflict that sent that bullet my way. That was my experience playing it.
Yeah, every time I tried. Did any of us buy that, or did it play the beta?
No one. We all tried the beta. Aggro, do you know anyone who bought MAG?
No. In fact, for the first few years of MagFest, I thought maybe that's what that was. I was like, did people buy that game?
Yeah, we're getting together 256 people. All of the people who bought MAG ever.
I think it's time. They should make that game again.
They should, but they should call it Warhawk and then put in things to do other than march forward and fucking die.
I don't know. Like, I feel like even that might do it now. Like walk for 5 minutes and get sniped, but now with SSD load times.
Yeah, I mean, what you're basically describing is like an overcrowded PUBG match.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. Giving Mag a chance. Yeah, a fun thing about that, you can't. The servers are down. Seeing people say Planet Side 2. Yeah, that's true. Didn't that have an enormous player count?
I think that had another, was that same sort of idea.
Yeah. I don't have anything. If people would like an update, though, and I really don't take for granted that you do. I assume you don't. Most of you don't. I'm at 203.6 pounds, which means I'm really fucking close to my goal of 200. When I woke up at 203.6 pounds, I realized, even though I only said it jokingly, there is no way in the world I'm following through on what I said to Spiff in a DM. I am not aiming for 190 pounds. I would look weird. I realized that would not look right on my frame. My frame is way too large for that. But yeah, I'm almost there. I celebrated hitting 203.6 pounds by eating at a delicious as fuck Indian place, which had a thing I'd never heard of called kulcha. It is a bread kind of like naan is a bread. It's a bread dish. Have you tried kulcha? It's aggro if you're preparing some terrible joke based on... I hate you so much, man. I've been dealing with this asshole since high school. I'm ignoring you. I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm going to talk. So anyways, the kulcha is covered in like an oil, like an olive oil, and the inside is ground mushrooms. And it is the fucking tastiest shit, man.
So is the joke getting cultured?
Yeah.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up, man.
White man goes to Indian restaurant, discovers culture.
Fuck you. Oh, I hate you. You're not my real dad. Culture's real good. You should definitely go to that place.
Yeah, is it I assume it's about the same prices as the other Indian places.
Roughly.
Okay.
Yeah. You know the best part about this place, though? You know the name? The Curry.
You can't just call that. Come on.
It's what it's fucking called. I laughed my ass off. I fucking recorded a video where I snap zoomed in and out and yelled, The Curry. Anyway. Yeah, the culture's fucking delicious. They also had lamb pasanda. Also, I finally tried the world famous chicken 65. Have you ever tried chicken 65?
No.
Aggro,
I've heard of it.
Chris?
Isn't that a Beatles song?
Many people have only tried chicken 64, but they had chicken 65. No, chicken 65 is absolutely delicious. It's imagine small pieces of chicken fried, covered in a yogurt sauce that's spiced and delicious like you expect from Indian food.
Ooh. Oh,
That sounds good.
This looks very good.
It is very good. It's very, very good. That shit is delicious.
Do they consider that an appetizer or a meal?
That was, I believe, in the appetizer section.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very shareable because it wasn't all like one chunk. It was a bunch of small pieces. So we all got to like, but really half the plate was me. Let's be real. They also had lamb pasanda, as I mentioned. I like the other place's lamb pasanda more, but that doesn't mean this one's bad.
Okay.
This one's still good. It's very good. Meanwhile, when we were going there, all I could think about was that tweet where the person's like, I fuck with my friends sometimes, so when we went to the Indian place, I ordered the stereotypical white girl Indian food to get, where it was like chicken tikka masala, something, and a mango lassi. And the waiter just goes, "Oh, is that your favorite?" when she ordered it. And he started cracking up because he too knows that is the stereotypical white girl Indian order. That was way too funny to me because I don't know. I'm the only person at that table who didn't order a mango lassi. That's the yogurt drink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's that mango yogurt drink. It was really...
I was wondering if it was like an alcoholic one.
No.
Okay. Because something about it being the white girl meal that was like, it's got
to come in a box and be wine, says Bob. Right? No, I haven't tried plain salty / sweet lassi. As you can understand, after masala soda, I'm a little reticent and slow to move through the larger spread of Indian drinks. I'm sorry, Aggro, that I brought that up. I forgot you drank it.
Yep.
I'm so sorry, man. Yeah.
Savory drinks are scary.
In theory, they could be fine, but that one isn't. It's not okay. They had a TV that just went through cool shots they had of their own food and dishes they ordered, and then it showed the masala tea, and I just stared at it like welling up with tears. Spiff's like, "Hey, maybe the tea's good," and I'm like, "I'll never know."
Right? Never.
I'm too fucking scared. If you
have to order it and then have that waiter take it away, you know that doesn't feel good.
Yeah. I mean, masala chai would be masala tea, so presumably this person in chat is saying it is good. But I am scared because I've been deeply wounded by masala soda twice. Just once would be enough, but no. I wonder how searchable that is on the VODs channel. If you try to search up Masala Soda on the VODs channel, will it bring you to the correct VOD? That's what I wonder right now. I think I tagged it correctly. We'll see. Oh God, now I'm think about anything else. Bob, what did you presumably you didn't just lie there dying for a week.
No.
You in fact played video games at some point.
I played video games.
Did you play Eiyuden Chronicles?
No.
Has your copy gotten here yet?
Yes, it showed up actually like a week before launch.
Which is crazy.
Right?
It feels like that never happens. And in fact, it didn't happen to multiple members of our fan base who also backed it.
Yes. I did have to pay extra for shipping because that's how that Kickstarter worked for whatever reason.
Cool.
Yeah. And I booted it up when you texted me about it last week, asking if it still looked that blurry. And it did, in fact, look that blurry. So I'm just
and I forgot to mention it on Big Think because I didn't see your text until after Big Think.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's fucked up that the PS5 version's that fucking blurry.
Yeah. And it was just like, you guys should patch this. I'm not going to bother playing it until you do. Because
you can apparently turn that shit off on PC, the depth of field.
Yeah, Jesus. No, it literally is just they tuned the settings completely wrong. Like, this isn't this version has a bespoke different version of the game. Like, no, the devs just toggled the wrong options.
Yeah, and it looks like it uses some low quality ground textures too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, they just decimated it.
Yeah.
It's fucking unreal that they did that.
So there's like 100 other games that I want to play right now. So why would I play the worst version of this one?
Right. Why rush to play the worst version of this? You already paid extra way in advance. Mm-hmm. So why would you complete the meme by doing so to play the worst version possible? Spiff says his copy is showing up in 2 weeks.
Whoa. Good Lord.
I thought it was bad with me and the Sybil plush.
Right.
Where people got theirs before me. And I'm like, yo, where are all the goat bitches at?
But I did play something with a very similar art style to Eiyuden.
Oh, yeah?
It's the demo on Steam.
Oh, okay.
For a game called Akatori. It's Akatori.
Okay.
And the demo is called Chapter 1. It's just literally at the beginning of the game.
Uh-huh.
But it's got that same sort of like pixel art characters on top of 3D backgrounds, but the Metroidvania.
Okay.
So kind of like that spin-off they did for Eiyuden. Because that was also a Metroidvania, weirdly.
Yes.
Kind of. This one's actually a Metroidvania, unlike that.
Which is notionally a Metroidvania.
Which is like, okay, you've progressed 3 rooms. Go back to town and watch cutscenes. You may now progress 2 rooms further. Go back to town and watch cutscenes.
Wow, that's deranged.
Yeah, what a mistake that was. But Akatori is really neat. I started out not being too impressed with it because you play as like this monk girl in a like Asian-inspired environment, fighting demons and other things as you go into like an alternate dimension. And you start to just have like a 3-hit combo. Mm-hmm. But like halfway through the demo, they give you a staff, and that expands out your movement options and your combat options a lot.
Ooh.
So you can throw the staff like into walls and then bounce off of it to platform.
Sick.
Or throw it straight down to use it as a double jump sort of thing. And then it like the staff uses up a charge for when you're attacking with it, but it does a ton of damage, and you recharge by punching them. Mm-hmm. And they both have different move sets as well, so you can have like a dive kick without the staff to get around. It's really cool.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
It doesn't all quite work as well as I want it to, but it feels like super early, and they might actually make it feel better as it goes.
Okay, so this demo is for a game that's not yet done.
Yes, it's very much
that's good.
Far off.
Awesome.
But really neat.
I'm sorry, your watch, the screen lit up.
Okay.
Which then reminded me, because Bob's been sick, I haven't had time to tell him the story, so I will tell you and the audience. So I went through the process. I have like a 3rd gen, 2nd gen Apple Watch that I got forever ago for when I first started trying to start my fitness journey. Mm-hmm. So I went through the process because Tosh, it would benefit her to have like a newer one than that because there are shortcomings. I went through the process of being like, hey, Apple Store, I want to trade in this to get a new one. And it's like, okay, type in the serial number, blah, 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 blah. I do that. It takes me to the screen that's supposed to tell me how much the value is. And it goes Here's the good news. We can save the planet together. We'll recycle that piece of shit for you. And I fucking lost it. Motherfuckers are like, we'll send you a fucking coffin. It's so bold. If it just had a different look to the screen than the normal one that's supposed to have a monetary value there. Instead, it's like, bro, do you need help burying this body?
God, that gave me PTSD for when we took them on trade-in at GameStop.
At GameStop, yeah. You took Apple Watches?
Yes, we took Apple Watches.
Even what?
We took Apple Watches.
The cell phones was absurd enough.
But yeah, we got into... They had a broad name for all of the tech stuff we took.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was, but
like
we
smart
took all of
or mobile or, yeah.
Yeah, it was...
So
it was
dumb.
something tech in the title, but we did all of it. Because the watch, there's so much that's about where it needs to connect to phone data, any info.
Yeah.
To get the serial number, do you know where it's printed on the thing?
It's not printed on all of them, is what I found out.
That, yeah,
right.
already
That's
annoying.
what I found out trying to do this one.
Do you know where it's printed at on the ones that do have it printed? You will never guess.
No, is it where the strap is?
It's where the strap connects. It's in a slightly off-color white.
Fuck you, dude.
Against silver.
Dude, I'm wondering if, like, mine actually had it then, because it said it had it, and then I looked at it and I said, you're a fucking liar.
But
There's nothing there.
It's under that. It's under the strap.
That's insane.
You have to look at it. It's curved. It's because it's a curve in there. It's white text on a silver watch, so you can hardly read it.
You need to understand, the gap for these straps to go into the side of this thing is maybe 1.5 millimeter in size. So Bob's peering through the smallest gap in the world at an off base color, right? Mm-hmm. What the fuck? That's horrible. Did they give you like some like a comically huge magnifying glass? I feel like they should do that so that way you could open a console someone traded and be like, wow, look at all these bugs. Even though you could obviously see them just fine without it, but it would just be funny to zoom in. Sorry, I know I really got us off topic of Akatori there, but I got punked by Apple. How that felt. That was very funny. I'm like, I get it, but also fuck you.
But yeah, Akatori is really neat. I definitely just trying out that demo. It is also made on Unity, so there's a worry that they'll never make it feel actually legitimately good. But it's a lot of mechanics. I was like, man, I'd love it if a game nailed these.
Yeah. It's going to be really good when we see a lot more transitions to Godot engine games, because the tutorials and the knowledge base is shooting up on that end of this industry so much. It's so fucking appreciated. The last thing I want is for someone to be like, yeah, but I want to bring my game to console, so I should use Unity. It's like, if you're going to do that, then just use Unreal Engine.
Right.
And if you really, really want to bring it to consoles, maybe just get someone to fucking port it for you, because that's a service. People out there do that.
Right, exactly.
They port Godot engine games to console. Yo, is that a Tenchu 3 t-shirt?
It sure is.
No, that's Tenchi. Yeah. I'm sorry. The U looks like an I from that distance. You're forgiven. I mean, the I looks like a U. The other, yes. But yeah, that's cool though. All of that sounded like really cool shit that I would absolutely be interested in.
Mm-hmm. And it seemed to have some weird mechanic where when you're in this underworld you're exploring, the more things you kill down there, the more areas it would unlock.
Ooh.
Like, this seems really neat, but it seemed like they were holding it way back for the demo and be like, no, get out of here. You don't get to actually mess with that.
That's really neat, though. That's kind of like instead of Metroids and Metroid 2 being an actual... One moment, I'm being attacked by a bug. I've never had to fight off a bug live. Instead of the Metroids and Metroid 2 being a unique creature, it just being like a Dynasty Warriors thing, right, just kill them all.
Yeah, just filling a meter. And it seemed like the meter, like, if you died, you'd lose that, so those areas would close back up. So it seemed really neat. I was like, okay, this could go somewhere.
We're both enjoing staring at this bug. The bug's just doing sick loops and donuts in the air, and we're like, hell yeah, brother. Motherfucking bug had some of my ghost energy drink.
I also played another Metroidvania.
Oh, okay.
This is a full game.
Bob's like, I'm already ill. I might as well just do all of these genres that could be great but might go bad.
So I played Zao, Tales of Kenzera.
Oh, neat. How was that?
So it's got some neat, like, African sort of aesthetics.
Oh, right. ZAU.
Yes, ZAU.
Oops.
It's the story is framed as in the distant future, you play as this kid whose father's recently died, but he wrote a book. So the kid is now reading that book. I don't know why it's set in the distant future, but there's like his mom has a robot hand and there's a cyber city in the background, but then they just read the book and the entire game takes place in that. So whatever.
Aggro, the white man goes to Indian restaurant, gets cultured, is already in the GigaQuotes channel. I fucking hate you. I hate
This
you
is how I win.
I hate you so goddamn much. Sorry.
It's okay. So you play as literally the same kid is in the future, but now in the novel. And it's set in like unclear when, but you play as a shaman whose father recently died. And you're going around with the god of death to do tasks for him to maybe bring back your father. Which just leads to a bunch of this old man and the main character bantering back and forth in kind of really generic dialogues. As you play a Metroidvania game that does not have seemingly any exploration and it seems like is extremely linear. Has a combat room like every 3 rooms. And yeah, it's not great.
Oh.
The combat's kind of neat, but not deep enough to be justifying a combat room
Every 3 rooms. Yeah.
You have 2 different attack modes. There's 2 masks you put on. You have the sun and the moon mask. So the moon mask, you can sound too much like moon mist. Sorry.
So you have the moon mist.
Yeah, you have the moon mist.
You can chug the moon mist. It gives you power. You learn about the miracles of the universe, like magnets.
But that gets you long range attacks and then like a heavy attack that knocks enemies way back. And then the sun mask is melee attacks and a heavy attack that knocks the enemy upward. So you can like hit them up and then jump up after them and continue your combos. But then they almost immediately start introducing enemies that have a shield to one type of magic or the other. So you just need to...
That's literally the only thing I needed to hear.
Yeah. And the shield takes just enough hits to be really annoying. Like it was...
We will never truly be free of all the fucking problems Guacamelee invented by being really successful.
I genuinely need to know exactly what was the first game to do an action format. And it's like, hold this form so you can do any damage. Elsewise, fuck you.
Yeah.
I need to know what Patient Zero was.
I am curious too. Like, there's no way it was DMC to DMC because that game has no original ideas in it whatsoever.
Right, exactly.
But they took the Slurm episode. No one else thought of stealing the Slurm episode.
You also start with a ton of different traversal mechanics. So I'm like, what are you even going to unlock? Because you have wall jumps, you have dashing, you have air dashing. You have all this stuff. You can dash under stuff. You have a duck.
That's weird. Yeah, those are all core abilities you would unlock in a quick procession at the beginning to sort of like get it going, and then you get the kookier stuff like later on.
Right, and this is just kind of shows them, gives you to them all out the gate, and then it does this thing a lot of modern ones of these do, where it's like, well, we don't have much sidetrack areas, but we have super challenge areas. It's like, okay, to get through this little obstacle course we made, and we'll give you a power up.
Okay, well,
and it's like,
well, I kind of like that more than how you describe the enemies with the shields.
I mean, yeah, but
I like obstacle courses notionally and getting rewarded for doing them well. Hey, remember that time Nathan Graves got the ability to push a box? You ever think about that?
But yeah, I played this for like over an hour. I got to what I thought was going to be the first boss. It was a combat elevator. So then, like, right after the combat elevator, which sucked, It was really bad. It was filled with those enemies that could only take one type of damage. Immediately after that, they have a boss fight, which is so easy. I beat it within under a minute. I'm like, what even was that? Why did the combat elevator? I died to like 3 times in a row. Which that was way it respawning me inside the elevator because they know it sucks.
Right.
Like it respawned me halfway through it. So then I just turned the game off. I was like, I'm
Bob,
done.
you literally just described the ending of Godfall.
Yes.
you realize that, right? It's just like the elevator never fucking ends. And when it does, the guy at the end's like, I'm the final boss. Ow, you killed me. You ever think I should just buy the expansion to Godfall? We should go back and stream it because we didn't really stream a comprehensive amount of Godfall.
That's true. That would be funny. You bought that digitally, didn't you?
Yeah. I bought it from GameStop and
Yeah.
immediately came back and I was like, this fucking sucked. They're like, oh, really? I'm surprised. And I'm like, I wish I could have said the same. It's kind of like from an unpedigreed studio via Gearbox Publishing. I thought it would be better than it was. I definitely thought it'd be bigger than it was too. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be like a 10 out of 10 or anything, but...
Okay, it's been 2 weeks. Can anybody remember what Gearbox Publishing is called now?
Fuckstick Interactive, I think. Is that...
Defunct.
And Friends?
I'm not sure I remember. Is it Arc? You go pull up those notes.
Yeah. God, we need a Rolodex. That's how bad this industry's gotten. That would have been helpful during the talk of what Crystal Dynamics is working on, because I think it was said that they were working on one thing and they were working on another thing. And I don't remember which one's which. Someone corrected us in the comments after last time.
I think Crystal Dynamics is Fable and Eidos Montreal is Perfect Dark. I think that is right.
Crystal.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Dynamics. What are they working on?
I just killed, one of them canceled a Deus Ex game. I remembered that.
Let's see. Yeah. It's co-develop. Okay, Crystal Dynamics is co-developing Perfect Dark.
Okay. It'd make a lot more fucking sense to get the people who made fucking Deus Ex to work on the game that's Deus Ex.
We kept saying that when this shit came out. And then at some point, your brain switched to be like, anything else would be insane. So clearly that must be real. And it really doesn't say for Eidos Montreal. Let me keep scrolling, though. Maybe they say it eventually. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the wiki page for that ain't saying shit. I guess they were never officially announced to be working on Fable.
One of those situations.
New Fable game co-developer. Let me see if Googling that will confirm this. Yep. Okay. Yep. Eidos Montreal. Yep. They've been working on that for 3 years.
Great.
It's so cool that game was in development 800 years, and then they got somebody to actually make it, and now it will be in development 800 years.
It better come out next year, and
then it will come out day and date on PlayStation 5.
That will actually. I'm not saying this because I think it's a good thing. That will actually make someone jump. Someone out there, that will be the breaking point for them.
Jesus.
I bought an original Xbox for Fable and not Ninja Gaiden because that was the extra. Halo 2. And the story of Halo 2 upset me so much because of the level design stuff and the fact it didn't have an ending. And Fable itself was so much worse than all of the purported features they said it would have that it didn't. I fucking traded in my Xbox. If that
makes sense. I think I traded in mine. I don't remember. I got mine for KOTOR because I was a teenager and the concept of PC gaming was alien to me. Like I literally didn't know a single person who had a gaming PC.
Yeah. My brother got to live through one of the greatest economies the world has ever known post him graduating high school. So he got to buy a lot of stupid shit with his money, like a subwoofer the size of his trunk in his trunk.
Oh, yeah.
So he had a gaming PC. That was my point of reference for that. Weirdest thing about 6th gen, I don't get to talk about this enough. I got a GameCube at launch. I was really lucky. I got a GameCube at launch. My brother had the PS2. My brother then moves out from our house because he's, in college and whatever. So then I go, should I get a PS2? The PS2 has a lot of great games. And I swear to God, I get a PS2, but then I go, oh, but the Xbox is so cool. They have the fucking Fable over there and Ninja Gaiden and Halo 2. I'm so excited for Halo 2. I love Halo. And my brother left with his Xbox original. So I trade the GameCube towards an Xbox original. I think it goes GameCube, traded towards PS2, traded towards Xbox, traded towards realizing the PS2 was the better thing and ending up back there by the end of the gen.
Yeah, that was rough, man.
Yeah, trading in stuff economically. There's a reason that there's an appeal, and there's a reason it's a bad idea. What an incredible journey of me realizing only one of those consoles had good surround sound, and then only one of them had a large library of really compelling software. Sorry, Xbox fans. Bob's eating a Tootsie Roll. I'm not sure if you all saw that just now. This motherfucker's weird. He carries Werthers in his pockets.
Tootsie Rolls are delicious.
Are you also eating a Tootsie Roll right now?
No, I wish I had a Tootsie Roll. I wish I had one of those big bar ones they sell at the candy aisle.
Hell yeah.
Jesus, I haven't had a Tootsie Roll in so long.
Yeah, I feel like the only time I ever got Tootsie Rolls was fucking Halloween.
Huh,
I never go out of my way to buy a Tootsie Roll.
Right?
Since I go to Planet Fitness, their whole thing is that they had, because their colors are black and purple, they have a big bucket full of the grape flavored ones and Tootsie Rolls. And you take one as you leave.
Oh, that's good. I really like that. That's a really neat idea. I would simply, instead of rewarding myself with a sweet treat for working out, drink 2 energy drinks back to back while working out. That would definitely be a good and healthy choice.
Yeah, very healthy.
My dynamic vision has gotten really good because it's on the counter and they kind of give you a little bit of stink eye if you stop to deliberately pick one that isn't the grape one. So I have trained myself to be able to do that without, while I like scope it out while walking towards it as I'm leaving.
Well, the real solution, just grab a handful. Fuck them.
I once unwrapped and smashed together enough of the vanilla Tootsie Rolls to equate the size of a golf ball and put that in my mouth.
Oh my God.
Oh, I can since memory tells me what that. See, because I used to do that with fruit roll-ups. I would roll it into the densest little ball I possibly
those things go together
could.
like aluminum. Just becomes solid.
No, it's true. They get arc welded by your saliva.
And you bite into it, and it's like. It's like the Star Wars going into hyperspace thing, but in your mind.
Yeah, it's true. It's so fucking true. God. We were fucking talking about Zao.
Were we? I think we were done.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything more to say about that.
Well, let's talk about Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah,
those are my 2 favorite flavors: the fucking purple, the grape.
I don't think I've ever had the grape.
Really?
Yeah. In my mind, Tootsie Roll is the chocolate, and that's it.
If you have a purple Tootsie Roll, send it to our P.O. box. It's a pinned message in the announcement channel of the GigaBoots fan Discord.
Send Dan lots of candy and to completely annihilate his diet.
We were talking about it again. I brought it up. Okay, here's the release order of this information, Bob. Okay. Sarah Lene's Donathon, then last week's Big Thick, and then the Just Chatting stream. This is me announcing the various levels of you're the reason I'm fat, because the fucking Donathon. But Bob reminded me, rightfully so, I also got sick because of Handsome Joe's plague.
Yes.
Both of us got really sick, and then we had to move. So all of those and the new town having a shitload of delicious places to eat at were all the reason that I stopped 1.5 pounds or 1.8 pounds from my goal.
Yeah, you really got knocked down some stairs there.
I really fucking did. But you know what? My arms are buffer than they were then. I saw a picture of me then.
Okay.
I then went, wait, what the fuck? I was that close? And I had to bullshit. So that's, it's cool. It's working out, whatever. By the way, on Friday stream, you know how usually we do something economical and one of us drives to go get it and it's reasonable?
Yeah.
I got stakeout.
Yeah, no, I was there for when you did that. It was like, oh my God.
Here's the thing I didn't tell Chet. I got steak juice on my mouse pad. That's the mouse pad that came with my 4090.
Yeah.
I'm going to slip that back in the box when I sell it. Just be like, mouse pad, mostly good. Only mild steak stains.
Mouse pad au jus.
Hey, you know what? Matovi's right. I should just list that part as acceptable, and it will be more accurate than that motherfucker who sold us the Spider-Man 3 disc on Blu-ray that didn't work. Blu-ray is such a resilient format. How?
He had a mission. Was it ruin the Blu-ray?
He's arc welding it. Anyway, did you play anything?
I did play some other stuff.
Okay, let's talk about
I
it.
booted up Granblue Relink because I had those characters, and I was like, yeah, I want to play those. Of
Your
course.
tweet was funny as shit.
So,
and our Granblue Fantasy Relink spoiler cast came out this week.
that's true.
It was recorded before then. I don't even know how much. 6 weeks?
It was recorded like the day they announced those characters, basically.
Okay.
So if you want to find out in the timeline when it was, you can find those.
Yeah, you can reverse engineer it from that. Yo, Granblue Fantasy Relink is really good. I recommend people listen to that spoiler cast. That was a joy to record. I don't know about edit.
Yeah, it was fine.
Okay.
No mishaps. That was easy to edit. It was fine.
That's good, because Bob was sick, and I was like, we good? I can edit this. And Bob's like, no, I got it. I'm like, good, then I will stream. Did not stream.
So you cannot use the old crewmate cards to get the new characters.
Which is very funny.
Which, yeah, I was saving 4 of those with hopes.
He literally was like, these are for So, okay, how the fuck do you get these crewmates?
There is a new currency that's in those new missions they added.
Okay. I love when a game based on a gacha game adds a new currency.
Uh-huh.
So it's in the new missions they added. Okay.
Yeah, so one of the missions is in the, let me see, what the
you have
extreme difficulty. So that's the
Okay.
one that I had already unlocked, because that's
Okay.
not
Yes.
the highest level. The
No,
highest
it's
level
not.
is proud.
Yes.
There's also another mission in the proud difficulty.
Okay.
I haven't been able to unlock that because you need to beat every proud mission. Every one before it unlocks it.
Bob, I would love to help you. Here's the problem. You're on PS4.
Right?
All my shit and all my crew's on PC. Why is it cross-playing? Okay, I played through that game twice because of that.
Right?
It was still a joy, but still.
So on the proud difficulty mode, that currency, for beating the mission once, you get a maximum of 3, it seems. That seems like the most you can get. How many do you think you need?
Ooh, one moment. We should have some like quiz show music. Let me just come over here and then hit this, and then we're just gonna. Oh wow, none of these work. Okay, we'll just. I'm gonna go ahead and say that if you get 3 per run, it takes at least 160. Aggro?
I believe in a world that contains joy. 25.
And Chris, how many of the extra currency that you get 3 of per run on a proud mission do you think
If you do really well.
If you do really well, do you think you need for this fucking character?
I'm gonna say 99.
You need 90 for one character. They released 2. So yeah, I need to unlock the proud mission because, oh my god, the extreme missions, basically, I'd have to sit there for hours. So I didn't do that.
Yeah.
But I've been doing the quick matches and been able to find a few proud missions one at a time.
Cool.
Clearing them out very slowly.
That's awesome. They sure did put a character unlock behind you collaborating with other people online to make insane content possible.
So
Hope that's the way you've been playing that game.
Yep. Definitely.
You definitely made a crew of Granbluers, right?
Uh-huh.
He's like, you ready to get Grand blown, chat? Yeah, just go live on Twitch. And be like, I need people to help.
Or you can just pay $5.
What?
Yeah, you pay $5 and they'll be like, here's the character.
Why the fuck would I do anything else? Why the fuck would I do
To
anything
not
else?
not reward that.
Right, to not reward that.
But
I would be like, I'll just pay for it.
yeah, so $5
Yeah,
isn't even that much for a
I
fucking
found out-
DLC character.
Yeah, no, I found out about this after my Grand Quest. I was like bringing it up on the Granblue main page on my PS5, and it's like, hey, here's the character for $5 if you want.
Isn't okay?
We
Okay.
need a permanent fucking government agency where every time you put something in a game that you can either buy or play for, there needs to be a ratio. And if you don't come under that ratio, you don't get to put it in your game.
Okay, no, like real quick. How much do fighting games characters cost? Like Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6. Isn't it like $8 or $12? Isn't that the range?
That keeps going up because
I feel like 5 is a really reasonable price
5
for
is-
because the Blaze Blue back in the day was $8 a character.
Right,
and that felt bad.
And that felt like highway robbery.
It-
and I
it-
believe Tekken's now $10 because it's $40 for the whole season pass and 4 characters.
Right. So like
Yeah, every season pass
five-
is like $40 now.
$5 to me seems fine. If it was $8 though, I would be like, motherfucker. But of course, I'm not someone who needs every character, so I honestly don't know anything about the new characters. I saw a trailer with them. I was like, cool. And then my brain moved on entirely. Because obviously I need to max out my character I'm working on now before I even look at a new character, obviously.
But what if you find out the new character is just someone you'd rather play as the whole time? What if now you don't want to play the old
Then
character?
that'll be a fantastic journey in the next step of my life. Dude, I didn't play Narmaya, and I wanted to play Narmaya. I have characters I already want to play that I didn't.
I know, right? Like that's another thing of like it feels weird to pay.
Because Siegfried's the great sword rhythm game mechanic guy, like Hi-Fi Rush style, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my main character on PC, and I've been building him up. And it's cool, but like a lot of characters could just really fucking schmoove and get these flying fucking enemies way easier than me.
Right.
So I do occasionally just look at, Narmaria with, if I remember correctly, Judgment Cut and shit, and just go,
This is a warning. She's no good at fighting those flying enemies either.
okay, we're all going Eugen or however it's pronounced, Eugen. But yeah, Siegfried fucking whips. Anyway.
But yeah, that game's still a lot of fun.
Okay.
Man, the thought of like I want to unlock character, but also that whole thing of like building up another character, insane task.
Dude, it's easy. Just
Just have a friend who can
buy it on PC and run the game again.
Yeah,
That's all.
that's all.
Spiff and I got your back. We both have the PC version. We're both very buff, but very strong lads. We could even make a stream out of it. And your PC's definitely good enough to play Granblue.
Probably,
Mine's
yeah.
good enough to run it at above 120. So I imagine you can lock 60. I imagine you could get the PS5's masterful version of that.
Mm-hmm.
That was definitely tuned perfectly. I'm a little bitter the PS5 version didn't have 120 frames per second. That may have been a larger motivating factor in why I wanted it on PC. But anyway.
Let's see, other stuff I played. I tried a demo for What the Car.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw it at a few different shows.
And there was a whole week where every streamer was like, holy shit, this game.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Because this is the taxi car like platformer, right?
Yeah, it's basically it feels like a racing game that's a WarioWare, basically, because each level is super short in the time trial to get to the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all like, oh yeah, it's just some goofy new car you drive each time. So it's like car with
neat.
legs, car with too many legs, where it has like 18 legs and it just rolls around like.
Hey, Aggro, maybe I'm blanking. What is the normal amount of legs for a car?
Yeah, well, I was about to ask Bob to define because he said car with legs and then car with too many legs. Like those are different things to him.
Yes, that's how they describe it. Car with legs has 2 legs, of course, and they're on the bottom. car with too many legs has like 8 legs, and they all shoot out from all around it, and he rolls.
Yeah, everyone knows the Tesla Model M is just called that because it has many legs.
There's also the shark car, where it is a shark.
Okay. Yeah, that's great.
Car with a cold, where it sneezes when you hit the accelerator, and it pushes it forward. Carp, which is just it's a car.
Really?
But a car.
I see.
It's hard. I know it's a lot of puns going on here. Car accordion, where it's an accordion, it like stretches out and sun pulls towards it.
Okay, that's pretty good. It's like a Noby Noby car.
Yeah.
You all remember Noby? Sorry, I know this was a bit earlier in the podcast, but we're back at that bit. You remember Noby Noby Boy? That game was cool. What if girl got big is literally the fucking goal of that bizarre game.
Yes.
Because wasn't it she extends to further away planets the more shit you ate or something? You add your length to her. You give that girl your length. I think that was the point of that game. It had an online mechanic. Everyone was giving their length to girl.
All right. Okay.
Boy is growing long to reach girl. Is that true? I don't think that's true. I don't play that kind of game. We PS3 fans were desperate. They started shoveling smut at us and we ate it up. They're like, you can either play this or calling all cars. And we're like, so we're playing the porn game, right?
Right, of course. Ain't nobody's playing calling all cars.
Oh, man. Hey, remember calling... Anyways, hey, Bob. You can have control back.
But yeah, it plays surprisingly well. Like, you expect this sort of game where it's just a bunch of goofy, funny things to be like, oh, it's a terrible racing game.
Uh-huh.
But no, the mechanics feel completely solid. And I'm like, oh, I didn't expect that from you at all. I thought this would feel like hot garbage.
But be very funny.
Yes. But yeah, that seems neat.
Cool.
I might pick it up when it comes out. I'm not sure. I don't know how long this will stay funny because it felt like they kind of did everything in the demo.
Yeah, you have to wonder.
Like, would you really have another, 100 ideas for a full game? Because this was, way too many ideas for this one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I also played some more Unicorn Overlord.
Oh, cool.
I got a little stuck because it's you can marry now. You can pick... some with your main character, you can choose someone to marry, and you can marry basically anyone in the cast.
Oh no, Bob! I watched a bunch of those YouTube videos. You can marry women. All of the men have vague dialogue where it's like, "Oh yeah, no, we're committed to each other. We're roommates."
So you can either marry women or become really good friends. Is that?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, this game sure is historically accurate.
Yeah, because I did one of the men ones and was like, this seems like they are married. I don't know if there's anything else.
No, that's what I thought too. Like, that was pretty, and then I saw the ones for the girls.
All right.
But yeah, men, women, and even your cousin.
Yeah, chat's blowing up with the cousin thing right now.
Yeah, I had to double check because I saw the jokes going around about that of no, you have to play historically accurate. You need to marry the cousin who looks just like your mom because you're royalty.
I'm like, wait a second. Now I'm trying to remember the Sailor Moon localization where they're like,
Like, all I'm saying is if you have the choice between your cousin who looks like your mom and an owl...
Uh-huh.
I just feel like there's room for all sides in this argument.
Fuck is this podcast? Chris, would you like to contribute to the cousin fucking owl fucking conversation?
No, I haven't played the game yet.
That owl's
just
pretty
be
hot, though. I'm not
uninformed.
gonna lie.
But yeah, this stuck me in gridlock because now I have 100 characters. I need to max out the relationships up to see which one's the best one to marry.
Yeah, that's fair. I get that. Oh man, could you imagine how successful Granblue would have done even better if there was dating mechanics? Could you fucking imagine? Damn.
When did Granblue come out? The end of January?
Yeah,
February.
yeah.
Yeah. Never
It was
know.
like January 31st or something.
Right, yeah.
I'm willing to bet money that if there's, because they said they put all the stuff that they were going to put into Relink, but it sold a lot more better than they expected also.
Yeah, and I also love how they were like 80% of the copies sold were not in Japan. And I'm like, we're winning! People woke up to justice. And frankly, I'm going to say a lot of those people are on PC. So if fucking Vanillaware could just ship their fucking game on PC.
It would certainly help, but I'm willing to bet that next year they will do the Valentine's Day event they do in the actual mobile game in Relink.
I bet, yeah. It sold really well. They were really happy with how well that sold. I was like, fuck yeah. What can't imagine it happening to a better game.
Right. I was surprised that apparently Rise of the Ronin sold well, is according to them.
Really?
Yeah, it was like they were happy with the sales. It was like,
Yeah,
I thought that thing got buried.
Yeah, at first everyone was trying to be like, oh, yeah, that got completely buried. No one played it. But here's the thing. Maybe they played it, but they were just respectable gamers. They were quietly enjoying a game in their free time instead of yelling about it on Twitter all the time. What? It shipped at the same time as something else.
Dragon's Dogma. Like same
Maybe
day.
Dragon's Dogma fans are just
same day.
fucking louder.
Yeah.
No, Dragon's Dogma sold better.
I assume.
Yeah.
This is mostly facetious. But yeah, I don't know. Thank you. Princess Peach Showtime too.
Yeah. Ooh.
The Rise of the Rodent in shambles.
But the best wife I found so far is Berengaria. Did you call her to the altar and she's like, no.
Straight up, it's great.
Yes.
you invite her. You're like, I would like to get engaged. And she just goes, I'll kill you. And then it plays the Gundam Wing riff. She tears the thing in half and throws it in your fucking face. Wait a second. What if they made Gundam Wing, but they were girls? Imagine a Gundam series. Have they done that yet? Dan, what year do you think it is?
No, but like Wing and their girls.
No, we need this specifically. I'm sorry.
I'm very excited for the incel.
My God, I don't
Because it's still just Relina Peacecraft.
Oh, man. Okay. That's cool. I'm glad she said no.
And the only other thing I did, I played and I finished Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Oh, cool. Awesome. People actually have asked, and I, when I was presented with the question, I was like, I don't fucking know. They're like, are you doing a spoiler cast on that? I'm like, bro, I haven't played the game. It's
Dan hasn't
just,
started it.
It would just be popping Chris at this point. So I don't know if we're waiting on me or what. All I know is my backlog of games is 300 hours long, and it gets bigger with every passing week. That Soul Covenant game came out.
Yeah,
that's for people who don't know, former Sony Japan staff who worked on
Soul Sacrifice.
Soul Sacrifice. People from Mega Man Battle Network and stuff made a VR game that's an action
it's
RPG.
a VR thing. That's why I haven't heard of it.
That's why you and most people checked out of it. It's an action RPG. Mm-hmm. I hear positive and negative things, and I'm really interested, but kind of concerned. I'm gonna try to see if we can get a copy to cover it, because I did taxes.
Yeah, you need to stop paying them money for these games you're trying on VR.
VR games are a little risky, and I spend most of my time working out, except for this week where I capped off all the working out and dieting with eating a shitload of Indian food and getting shit-faced. Speaking of which, the only other thing I've been doing is I did a drunk AMA in the GigaBoots fan Discord. If you didn't know we have a Discord, there's a link in the description. Join the fucking Discord. Be the change you want to see in the world, unless it means we'll ban you. So there you go. That was fun. Lots of questions asked, lots of questions answered. Grusha might have come up. I don't know. Unclear. I can't recall all the things that were said during the hours of that.
That makes sense, as you were drunk. Oh no, what happened to Chris?
Also, it was really fast. I don't know. Chris is...
I accidentally clicked the streaming button off. That's what happened to Chris.
Chris is like, I have to go. Grusha has been mentioned. But yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun and neat. So that's it for you?
Well, I didn't say anything about having beaten it.
Okay. Did you want to... should I hit the...
No, I don't want to spoil it or anything, because that's... Why?
Yeah.
Come on. We've waited this many weeks. Why would it spoil it?
You didn't make it to the end of this 80-hour game by now?
Yeah.
Time for me to punish you.
Right? Yeah, which it did take me 80 hours. I did all the side quests.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit in that game.
It took me 120, I think it said.
Jeez. When you beat it...
real quick, and then you can follow up. What difficulty were you on, Chris?
Normal.
Okay, and you were on
easy
storytelling or whatever they fucking call that now.
I don't know. I thought it was just called easy.
Maybe
but
it's just called easy. I thought it was story. Okay, continue.
But
you were gonna say.
What level were you when you finished everything? Because I ended at level 50 or so.
Yeah, that's about where I ended, yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, is this because I'm in easy mode? Because it goes up to 70, and there's some stuff that you need to be level 70 to do.
Interesting.
That is for hard mode. Because hard mode puts you in New Game Plus. You have all your materia and equipment and shit. That is the sicko mode where it's like items don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And also the benches.
Mana.
Yeah, the benches do not restore MP anymore. They only restore HP.
Huh.
Yeah, they did the same thing in the first game.
That feels a lot more plausible in this one than in the original, I feel like. But I also didn't get super deep into the mechanics of the first one.
Yeah, it probably is more plausible. I like that with this one, there feels like there's a lot to do without doing that. Because I felt like the first one, to get the maximal experience of it, I would need to start digging into that like hard mode stuff to get to these cooler, different fights. Whereas this has cool stuff to find in the world instead of everything being the Chadley simulator.
The big Chadley dimension.
So I didn't feel obligated to do that. It was already also very huge without doing that. It was 80 hours instead of like the 40, 50 that the first one ended up being.
Yeah, I didn't even do absolutely everything. I missed the last side quest in the game, which was very important. I've been told I have to go back and do it. And I did not finish the Gilgamesh stuff because that involves going refight all the summons 2 at a time.
Yeah, I did do that. If I was playing on hard mode, or on normal mode, I probably wouldn't have done it. I definitely do not reset the fighting system in this enough to get good at it.
Right. I mean, if you don't enjoy it, then
this one's a lot better than the first because you have an actual dodge. It's no longer just, and you have the perfect parry.
Yeah, there are a lot of little fixes, but they're still just, oh man, the enemies don't have very good like tells.
That's a little bit of a problem.
And you get caught up in a attack and just juggled. Like you'll just be, oh yeah, I'm stuck. This character's stuck against the wall, being hit repeatedly. I have to switch to another one. But the Gilgamesh fight is like the hardest one in the game. So that was actually one I had to redo a few times, which on easy mode, that was basically the only one I had to redo a lot.
Oh wow.
Did you know that the guy who's been voicing Gilgamesh for like 12 years is also the voice of the Didact?
So wait, did he do it in Dissidia?
Yeah.
That's great. I'm surprised they brought him back because, no one else was.
I think like a lot of
summons, maybe.
Yeah, I guess maybe. It's just like, well, he's not part of the main cast. Fucking whatever.
I have a PSA for one of the mini games.
Okay, which one?
There is a mushroom picking mini game.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
The tutorial does not explain it right at all.
Yeah,
classic video games.
This minigame is frustrating because there's not the only penalty for Lou failing it. You can't repeat it, by the way. You get one chance.
Mm-hmm.
But the only penalty for failing it is you get a slightly worse reward for the side quest because it is a part of a side quest.
Okay. So what's the deal with the minigame, Bob?
So the mushroom, you're trying to pick it.
Uh-huh.
On the analog stick, you can rotate the mushroom, like to choose a side on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, well, the side that has a higher tension is the one you want to pull last. So you go from looser to more tight tension. It was like, what do you mean? I'm just rotating the analog stick around. And it doesn't really make any sense. And so I had to look it up online. It's literally the tension of pulling R2. But R2 is the button that picks it. But only if you pull it all the way down. So I wasn't even trying to pull it until it was too late.
I figured that part out, but I didn't think it was enough of a delineation for me to be able to tell.
I was always able to get it down to the last two, and those I had to guess. Because it's like, okay, these were pretty close, and then at the very bottom of that list, though, it became very hard.
So do you also agree that Kate Sith should have the shit kicked out of him?
Absolutely.
I went into that vent and saw what he did inside that vent and just got mad.
I don't know if I know what you're talking about.
That's where he does
God.
the spin dash.
Yes. Yeah, no. Kick him out of the window. God.
I really need part 3 to confirm, like, is Kate Sith powered by an AI? Is Reeve, like, in his office with a really advanced VTuber setup controlling this thing? Like, I need to know.
Right.
I need to understand.
Because it seems like it's something like that. Because you even see him in a meeting, and then Kate Sith isn't
because Kate Sith has to turn off.
Right.
Huh. Okay.
So I don't know. And I would love to know, but I don't think they'll ever tell us.
I don't know. I feel like there might be a scene, like Matto's saying in chat, maybe in the third game, we get the scene of him at the computer and he's like, we don't show any of the Kate Sith end of the equation, just
things very similar to that do occur.
We need to see his VTuber rig, and for him setting it up, he should have to wear cat ears.
And it's reading his brainwaves,
yes,
so they're like...
Yeah, I like, does he go into the G Gundam cockpitting bullshit where, like, the latex suit gets pulled over him? Oh, God, Reeve's so funny in this game. Just, like, every time. Like, he looks like he's gonna cry at all times. Like, he looks on the verge of bursting into tears every second.
I was surprised that he has a different voice actor than Kate Sith. Like, I thought they would just use the same voice, but no, it's literally just a different guy.
You can do amazing things with AI.
I guess.
I mean, yeah, a lot of big VTubers are of a different gender than their avatar and use a voice changer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, that's very much a thing.
Whereas the guy who plays Red 13 just has insane range.
Oh God, that's so fucking good.
Chocobo Racing's really good in this.
Okay.
I don't know.
I loved the Chocobo Racing. It is funny how they really didn't want an execution barrier to keep you from getting any of the minigame rewards in this game.
Right.
So they all feel like one notch easier than you'd think they'd be. So this moody cloud, this moody twink shows up to the Chocobo Racing League, and he's like, he gets off the track on every corner. How's he beating all of us by a lap on every single race? Like, the Choco Mafia must be having to kill these jockeys constantly for failing to win their races.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. I don't know why it's not turned to be harder, because the mechanics are there. It feels good to play.
Weird.
But the enemy AI is just like, oh no.
I really think it's as simple as like, well, we don't want to gate people out of rewards by making them do this extremely different.
See, that's weird because I feel like that's the joy of minigames. You get good at the squats, you get good at the other things, and that feels rewarding when you
squats
do
is
that.
still hard.
Okay.
There's also the the original had the Rock'em Sock'em Robot thing.
Yeah.
That's back.
Okay.
And it sucks. It's the worst minigame in the whole game.
I like that one.
Okay,
and that's accurate, so I can't complain.
I like it more than the original because I was never able to finish the original ever.
Huh.
Yeah, I just gave up when I got to the higher level enemies in it. Like, trying to fight Shiva, I was like, no, your tells for these are awful. It's like, oh man, is this a hook or a straight? I'm gonna just pull my arm back like this. It's behind my head. You don't know.
You don't know.
She raises her shoulder at a slightly different angle when it's an overhead.
I know. It's just a bunch of really
You have an
micro
instant
details.
restart button, so I just didn't give a shit. I'm like, okay, I'll just get punched a bunch of times until I figure it out.
Spiff says, pretty sure the original is impossible because the highest level will just read your inputs.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I don't even know. I think the highest level is Airbuster. I think that's what it is. Like that robot from the start of the game, but I don't remember. I don't think I ever got there.
I know at very least that was in there, or at least that's what I remember. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I can't remember it. This one has a lot of neat stuff. Like you even have Yuffie in there. I really like the side quest. I'll do the thing where you're completing something for someone in town and they're a character, but also it's always teamed up with one other guy, like one other person in your party. So like, oh, this is the one where you go around with Red 13 and learn more about him. I was like, man, this is really well thought out and made me want to do every side quest because I get to interact with these characters that are good more.
Yeah. What a thing in your game when side quests are used to flesh out characters.
I think it was also really funny when one of the Nibelheim side quests, you go around to, I don't even remember how it came up, but it came up that, oh yeah, the water filtration in Nibelheim was tested by Shinra and they said the water quality is fine.
Yeah. Spoilers. Tifa and Cloud both have autism from Mako in the water.
And Cloud's like, well, I drank it growing up. and everyone in the party's like...
And then like everybody looks.
Yeah. I was like... I felt like that was a very distinctly American thing. I don't know, though. So if anyone's comments sound off, that's something just... No, that's everywhere in the world. That some big company said the water was actually fine and you didn't get autism from it.
How funny is the Chocobo ability in the Nibelheim region where it's just like, just fly, fucking whatever.
I really like that one where it was like, okay, here's your jump button, do it. It doesn't even make sense. Like, oh, the Chocobo is shooting water out of its butt. What's happening?
What the fuck?
Or is it sucking it in? I don't know.
I don't know. I assume it has some kind of magical power.
I guess. There's also something I found really funny in Cosmo Canyon where they needed to write in, because in Remake, you know how you find that
should I hit the button?
No.
Okay.
It's super minor.
Okay.
You know how you find that observatory in Remake and they watch the CG movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
When you get to Nibelheim, the guy at that observatory has to be like, well, this is the original. Okay? Just so you're clear.
Because in the original Final Fantasy VII, Bugenhagen, Red 13's grandpa, takes you up into the observatory and you watch he does that again, of course, and he's like, this is the original version of that shit they have in the Shinra building where Sephiroth invaded the VR experience.
All right.
Yeah.
That's goofy as hell.
Yeah, though. Every time
pirated my movie.
Yeah, every time they have to write something in to be like, no, that was we rushed to get it in the first game. I don't know why we did that. It's minor stuff like that,
funny.
But it's funny.
Yeah, someone in chat earlier was talking about, I want the 3-stitch game stitched together as one giant 300-hour game. And I'm like,
yeah,
I think there is an appeal of making that next gen, obviously.
If they should do that and significantly truncate part 1.
They should. I think that, because every time I think about the 3-game journey and how cool that would be, I think about how almost undoubtedly the weakest part is going to be Remake.
Yeah,
like
that.
I don't see any way it can't be.
Like, it's just depressing thinking about, like, being stuck in Midgar for 50 hours. Like, the joy of this game is, like every 10 hours or so, it's a brand new area that looks cool. Yeah. It feels like you're on an adventure.
If you don't do all the if you don't do all the side quest stuff, you move through it much faster.
Right, of course.
Yeah, so it would be really neat if they could figure out a way to do that. That would be actually a good conclusion to this remake saga, is for them to make the one cohesive game. That's the whole thing.
It's 350 gigs.
Yes.
I'm interested in this.
I think that would be if they officially stitched them together in some insane way, I think that would be the only way I ever play Remake ever again.
I have to wonder, since there's rumors of Remake 1 coming to Switch 2, if they will give it the revamped combat from this one. I doubt they do big changes like that, but if they were to, that'd be neat.
That would be interesting. Yeah, I bet we see enough sales. Like, if they actually follow through with that, we see enough sales for them to be like, oh, hell yeah, we can do anything now. Even though they already sold an unbelievable amount of copies of that because of the COVID buff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what was it?
Don't you love when analysis doesn't take the COVID bump into consideration?
Honestly, analysts don't make it as funny as companies. When companies do the whole, well, we sold 40 million a few years ago, it's like, when was a few years ago?
Yeah. I've noticed this thing with gaming industry analysts, and I'm not going to say who specifically I mean, but if you think about it, you might be able to figure it out. They're either, well, I will name one of them. They're all guys like Michael Pachter who are like, I'm evil. My point of, I exist to retroactively justify the bad decisions these companies make. I tell people what they want to hear. That's my job.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the other ones who seem like they intrinsically understand that they only exist for that and don't like it. So they're constantly getting into fights on Twitter at literally every second of every day.
It just makes me think of that fucking thing. Somebody quote tweeted the fucking Seinfeld thing. He said, it was like, if I was one of the most celebrated comedians of my time, I would probably spend the rest of my career shutting the fuck up and not trying to ruin that.
Yeah.
I mean, but as we learn, nothing you say, like nobody who actually likes Seinfeld is ever going to hear that. It exists in the social media dimension.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that had Friends ruined by watching Friends.
That's a little different.
It's a little different. Bob.
Yeah.
Did you?
That is everything. Excuse me.
Everything and some. Chris, did you have anything else you want to say about 7 Rebirth?
Bob, do you agree that Cloud is like 10 times more mentally ill in this game than in the first game?
Yes, thank God.
Yeah, like, he almost seemed too together in the first game.
Yeah, whereas now it's just it's over.
In this game, this happens like every couple hours. He like says some things about being in the Force, because he was a soldier, and then like Tifa and Aerith look at each other with concern, like they make the concerned eyes.
Yep. Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah, no, they did a much better job characterizing everyone because they have a lot more space and things to do.
Yeah.
God, Barrett's so fucking good now.
Yes. I like that all the little details they give to you. Feel like she sings at random constantly and gets motion sickness in basically every scene.
That's great.
Yeah, anytime you're on anything that moves, she's like, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna puke.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, they did a lot to like flesh these characters out, and it's really appreciated.
As it turns out, the appeal of a story is its characters, which is why Final Fantasy 13 is the greatest game in the
Let's
entire
not go nuts.
franchise.
My favorite part about Final Fantasy 13 is that if you play the game, you don't get the story. You have to go into the codex and read the summaries of the story scenes, which have additional information and events that do not actually happen in those cutscenes that is necessary to understand the plot of that game.
The funny thing is, I didn't even get far past the Ivy sword that's in that game, and even I was already going to go, wait a second.
When did that happen?
Like I keep saying, there's a point like 30 hours into that game where a dude you've met once for 30 seconds shows up and says you inspired him, turns into a crystal man, and then you have to kill him.
Dope. It's just like being an online content creator.
Yes, like it's like, sir, I was behind you at Wendy's once.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm trying to think of how turns into a crystal man translates to real life, and it's just shoving fistfuls of meth into your mouth.
Oh, he's going turbo mode. I guess you could call that. God, you saw the thing about the the DEA de-escalating marijuana down to be like, yeah, it's as bad as meth. What was it?
As bad as
ketamine.
codeine.
Ketamine. And I'm just like, oh, fucking really? Holy shit, guys. We could a little lower? No? Okay. All right. I'm very excited.
It's progress. No, we're still not classifying it right. That's not. I don't want it less bad. I want it good.
Yeah, I'm excited for the day that some load-bearing part of our social fabric somewhere shatters. It just crumples, and then one day I wake up and energy drinks are a scheduled drug, and I go, oh no! Drive a car off a fucking cliff. My Mega Man G Fuel, you can't take it from me. I become a gun nut, but for energy drinks. Government can't take this away from me. I love a Mega Man.
Red Bull's like the only legal one left, and the FDA's like, we tried, but y'all wanted to be a supplement.
You just have to go to the CVS counter. Like it's back there was Sudafed.
And they're like, I'm sorry, you've already had 3 grams of caffeine this week. And I'm like, please.
I need this.
Well, yeah, that's when you start running the scam and going to all the CVS's. And they definitely won't notice.
I just have to use a different ID at each one.
Yeah.
By the way,
different denim jacket for each one.
Different. Still a denim jacket, just a different one. For anyone who didn't know, the limit on pseudoephedrine literally was 3.6 grams. Ask me how I know the exact number. You made drugs? No, dumbass. I worked at CVS. Anyway.
You're Floridian? The Floridian school system includes all the ratios you need to make every designer drug.
But you're not allowed in the video production group. You're not gifted enough for that. You're only gifted enough to make drugs.
Like I'd say I learned that shit on the streets, but they didn't pave the areas between the trailers where I grew up, so.
Bob, that's all the games you've been playing?
That's all the games I played.
I can't remember if I said this before the podcast or on the podcast, so at risk of repeating myself, they made 2 new flavors of soda. One of them's a Sprite, but it's Sprite Cherry Lime. And then they made a Dr. Pepper that's in, these both come in Diet Normal, and a Dr. Pepper that's coconut cream. And that shit is really good, especially with rum. Anyways, that Drunken AMA was great. No, it's really tasty. It's really good. Definitely recommend checking those out. Well, at very least the coconut one. I haven't tried. I should try the cherry Sprite while we're live. I mean, why not? Hey, Aggro, what you been playing?
I've wrapped up Banishers earlier this week.
Yo, Banishers Ghosts of New Eden.
Which is I think in New England, but separate from it. All I know is that it's south of Boston.
I'm gonna go get some ice, make a drink.
So, as I said before, I played this whole game on story mode because I got to the first little optional summon a fight and get interesting rewards and saw how many hits the first one of those was going to take and went, I don't have room in my life to hit this green bastard 40 times with my sword. And it really is a shame because as I got through that game and unlocked more stuff, it seemed like the combat could be really neat if it felt good. But as it was, I realized after I did it that I did the same thing in this game that I did in the first new God of War 2016, where I played that game like a third-person shooter because I just threw my axe at stuff over and over. In this one, I just dumped points into everything that made the musket do more damage and reload automatically when I did other stuff. Which, on story mode, when everything has low health, turned the game into a pretty fun third-person shooter.
Yeah, that's weird. I didn't think that would work.
Yeah, neither did I. But at the end of the game, I stacked a couple of abilities that had an interesting effect. See, there's one where when you hit an enemy in the head, your ghost wife will materialize next to it and flying kick them.
All right. That's
and there's
good.
another ability where if you shoot them with the musket, you can spend spirit points and it'll knock them to the ground for a brief stun. Everything in this game has the same stand-up animation where their head is in the same spot for like a full half a second. So you shoot them once and knock them down, and while they're getting up, you shoot them in the head and your wife ghost kicks them to the ground, and then you shoot them in the head and your wife ghost kicks them to the ground, and then you shoot them in the head and your wife ghost kicks them to the ground, and nothing in the game can hurt you ever again.
Hooray.
I got the ending I was going for because I managed to only murder one of these bastards.
Okay.
And then I looked up the other endings.
Okay.
I don't know if you might want to put up the music. I don't know if anyone cares about this game. So I got the, I guess, like the morally good ending where I only murdered one person and ascended most of the ghosts, and we beat the final boss and got her to stop fucking around and told my wife goodbye, and it was that sucked, but eventually he got over it and everyone was better off. In the ending where you murder enough people to bring your wife back from the dead, it works. It just straight up works. And I was like, hell yeah. It's like she turns and like holds her hand out. And you guys walk out of the church. I'm like, fuck yeah, finally. And then there's an epilogue narration where it's like, but Red murdered too many people and never got over it. And also being dead fucked up Antea. And then they kept murdering people because all of the murder made them broken.
This feels like that feels like somewhere a consultant was like, you have to do that, add the narration. We don't want people to think you're saying murder is good.
Yeah, which sucks because, as I said, like I don't know how many of these Puritans you have to ghost murder in order to bring your wife back, but enough of them, I think, deserve it.
Right, you were talking about the other time they're literally selling what was it, blankets full of smallpox?
Oh yeah. No, I murked that guy, and there are enough other ones that deserved it.
Right, yeah.
It's a great game. It's a great game full of a lot of Puritans who deserve getting ghost murdered.
Yeah, it's just like that thing Yu Yu Hakusho. It's like, I'll just find the bad ones. You can eat them.
Look, my ghost wife has to eat, which is great. Like there are so many moments in this game where you're talking to a ghost and you're like, hey, like the universal thing is if you're a ghost haunting a person, you're living off of their life essence and you're eventually going to kill them. So they're like, hey, you're a ghost and you need to not be here anymore. So you need to leave. And the ghost always turns right to your ghost wife and goes, the fuck? And because the game doesn't know which way you're doing this, they give a non-ambiguous answer where she's like, no, it's different. This game has, it's gorgeous. It maybe should have been a little less gorgeous and a little more frame rate stable.
Oh, yeah.
But oh god, some of these environments, especially there are two extensive underground segments, one in a cave system and one in a cave system / giant impractical mine shaft. It's fucking stellar, some of these environments. Like I said, the combat's not that great, so my recommendation is to buy this game, kick it on story mode, and take the ride, because the writings and the writing and the environments are worth it.
It's surprising to hear you compliment the caves of all things, because the caves is what I think of in the 7th gen game, where it's like, oh, you had no money, we're in the caves again.
Oh no, these are in the like giant expansive, like we designed the shit out of this mine with multiple levels, and there are several like different layers and puzzles and elevators, and then down at the bottom is a really kick-ass cinematic boss.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay. So if you're watching the video or paying close attention to the sound, you heard me open this can of Sprite Cherry Lime. Sprite Chill. Cherry Lime. Pour it in this. And if you're watching the video, you saw me drink it. Be repulsed drink it again, be repulsed again. Bob was probably the only one who could hear me walk over, pour it all out, and then get the Dr. Pepper. So now I need to make sure that's okay because
you don't want to be make your judgment was swayed by certain other things mixed.
I mean, who knows? Maybe all that sweetness came from the rum. I don't know. Let me. No, that's good. That's good. The coconut one's good. Oh my god, that Sprite is vile, dude.
I'm not too surprised.
Oh my god. That is
I feel like Sprite's gotten worse in general over the years.
Oh yeah.
So
but like
the thought of a spin-off.
But the thought of like,
out,
it's lime and cherry. That could be good.
It should be.
Wasn't. Maybe the non-diet. Because it would
Maybe.
have sugar. Damn, dude, that was fucking terrible. Anyways, I'm glad that could be the background sound to the Banishers Ghost of New Eden segment of our podcast. So will we be seeing this again for Game of the Year, conversationally?
I think by the time we get there, it may not be on the list, but it might be in some categories.
Okay, it's not just going to be completely erased by. Oh my god, what's the name of that one that's out in the summer? Flintlock.
Flintlock. Oh my god, I was like,
God,
Shimigami
I
Tensei 5
forgot.
Vengeance.
Well, what's the common thread? Muskets?
Yes, third person God of War knockoff with muskets. Yeah,
That's which is
Is that
weird.
a God of War knockoff?
absolutely.
That's what you called it, yeah.
Oh, I barely remember how that game looks.
A weird thing happened in the God of War gear progression of Banishers. They start you off, and a few hours into the game, you get a flintlock, and then you get you upgrade your flintlocks, and like this one has a new paint job, and this one has a weird cutout in the stock, and then the last two upgrades were both wheel locks for some reason. I don't know enough about that era of firearms to go, is this possibly an upgrade? Where wheel locks are the older technology? Were they more reliable, just more expensive? I don't know.
Yeah, what is a wheel lock exactly?
Okay, you know how a flintlock works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, a wheel lock has an internal flat spring that you wind. And then when you pull the trigger, to spin the striker up against the flint to create the sparks.
Oh. Mm-hmm. That sounds like it look cooler.
It's mostly internal.
Oh.
They came about in like the late 1600s, I think. So they look cool as shit because guns looked cool as shit back then. Mm-hmm. All engraved and, all that shit. It was just a really weird little bit.
According to Wikipedia, the wheel lock gave faster ignition. So maybe that
I could see that, yeah.
It's an upgrade that way. Also, I'm looking at this Flintlock gameplay. Yeah, it is definitely God of War, but also has like insane jumping combos and teleports.
Cool.
It also has twang twang, but with a gun.
Wait, do you get to move, like control it with the DualSense?
That's what it looks like. I don't know about DualSense because it's multi-platform, but it looks like you get to curve the bullet.
Yeah.
Haha, it's multi-platform. What do you mean? Obviously, every controller has motion. Oh, right.
I thought you were going to say a multi-platform. There's more than one now?
There's more than
yeah,
one next-gen
PC.
platform? Oh, yeah, PC. Yeah, there you go. That's reasonable.
Speaking of the God of War gear progression thing, like you start off the game in the stuff is
real quick.
Yeah.
I don't want to distract you too much. You said God of War gear progression earlier, and it set my mind tumbling as I'm like, did he just say Gears of War or God of War?
Oh my god.
Well, don't worry, Gears of War, the next Gears of War will have God of War gear progression.
But it's okay, you can get it on the PlayStation.
This is there's just something about God of War gear progression in a game set in New England that is taking me out.
Yes, because you start off in like a wool coat and like pants and a scarf.
And then you get the dwarven cuirass.
Kinda.
God.
Like you get like the Banisher outfit, which is like woven all with like symbols and shit and has talismans on it. And I'm like, bro, you are going into Puritan meeting houses to talk to people named Lamentation Haskell. Maybe tone it down. Then I got like a suit of armor that it looked pretty good. It's like not scalloped. It's layered armor. It looked kind of period appropriate. But he had this like deep blue, it looked like silk piece of clothing underneath of it, and he's got like this big braided man bun on top, and it looked like metal ass samurai armor. The last armor set you get in the game is full on like Highlander shit. He's got the rough linen shirt with the sash, like the full tartan with the kilt and the wraparound. Oh my god! I'm like, why was that thing sitting in a chest under the old mill? It's also really, really fun to watch, like, this guy, Red McWraith, who's, like, I don't know, 5'8", and when you run, it does the God of War camera shake, like you're an 800-pound tank.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, guys, I don't think you understand. And that was a lot of this game. Guys, I don't think you understand why they made some of the decisions they did in God of War. You just also made them.
That would be the first time that happened in the game industry.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know, if you're going to blindly follow a template, that's a pretty good template to blindly follow.
It's true. Remember when that used to be the thing with movies too? Like, oh, we're going to follow this template, but now the template is having a template?
That's horrifying.
Yeah, I feel like that's where a lot of the insanity with commercial art production started to become weird. I mean, it's the same thing with games when they started doing our template is game as a service. It's like, hey, that's not a guideline. That's not a rule set. That's not a structure. That's an economy payout. That's not you don't know what you're making. I wonder why that person at the Sony studio was like, yeah, all their first party studios were tasked with making games as a service, which no one could define what that was. Anyway,
gaming's great.
I am so excited for film and gaming to have a crash. Anyway, hey, Aggro, did you play anything else?
I have decided to just finally get the rest of Trails of Cold Steel 2 out of the way. It's coming together.
Trails of Cold Steel 3.
Yup. I'm pretty close to the end here. The prophecy has come true. In addition to a Reen that delays things so they don't take turns anymore, I have a Fee evasion tank who does not get hit. And every time she doesn't get hit, she crits. And every time she crits, Laura, who has low speed but 1.5 times damage, she pulls her along like a tractor trailer and launches her into the boss.
That sounds awesome.
These games are real fucking good.
My favorite thing is when you do fishing enough to get the Master Quartz. It's like the first attack you use in a battle will do 3 times as much damage.
Yes.
And then you just put that on Reen and have him do his move that hits everything on the screen.
Mm-hmm. And then because he gets CP every time something dies, he just deletes the encounter and no resources were expended.
Reen might be the most overpowered main character in RPG history.
He's so good. He also snowboards, so he's,
cool.
That technically makes someone cool.
Yeah, that's like the peak of the fantasy anime anachronism shit, where it's like, yeah, this setting is like kind of analogous to like the 1920s. Mm-hmm. He has fucking snowboarding because it's cool.
He's that cool. It has to have existed so that way he can be that cool. Yeah.
But they do also have weird fantasy computers that at the fantasy school the women aren't allowed to touch. They have to take home ec while the men take computer class.
I don't remember if they ever actually said that, but that is how it turns out.
That's how they frame it, and that's when we get the great whisking furiously moment with T.
Jesus.
But it has been really great. Like playing through the first game. Like you're at a school and you're going on field trips and field studies, and I'm like, why is this is an entire ass game that's a geography lesson about its own world. Like why would you make a game like this? Oh, because there's like 3 other games after it where you really ought to know how the map is laid out, or none of this is going to make any sense.
I don't know. That sounds kind of neat. It sounds like a less childish version of the Battle Network. We're going to go on a field trip to figure out how the water plant works. But
there was these are the only Trails games I've played, and people have told me over and over, no, you have to go back and play the Crossbell ones, or nothing is going to make sense.
You do not have to do that. I still have not done it. I even played the one Reverie, the one where they really insist you should know, and it was fine. I picked up the gist of everything. Can you believe? Did you know that you can write stories where that is possible? So you see, by this thing called context clues, I am able to discern the meaning and arcs of characters and their characterization by seeing the things that occur around them.
Man, why couldn't they write the Marvels like that?
Because that was supposed to be a streaming show originally.
I did. I saw someone on Twitter was like, "You all keep complaining that the superhero movies are all origin stories, and now they make them into sideshows, and you don't watch it either." And I'm like, "Yeah, the problem with the Marvels isn't any of what you just fucking said. That literally has zero overlap with the issue here."
So there's a scene in the middle of this game where they really just pack in all of that. Like, without spoiling anything, a thing appears. And the whole cast is standing around, and Reen points at it and goes, "Huh, it's a thing of Azure." I'm like, oh, hey, look, that's where those games are.
Yeah.
People just start rattling off nouns like, oh, this must be the effect of the Child of Zero. I'm like, I don't know what that is, but I know which game it's in.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's like if in fucking Kingdom Hearts 3 they went, "Oh shit, he's about to dream drop." It's like that's
I always compare it basically to like, you just started at Zeta Gundam.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people did because they didn't have fucking DVDs back then or streaming.
Right.
Oh no, you'll never be able to put together that robots.
You'll never be able to put together that he is a Char.
you'll never figure it out.
I mean, how could you?
He's too clever. He's too goddamn clever.
Then halfway through that series, he takes his glasses off and lets his hair down, and Freddie Prinze Jr. falls in love with him.
Okay, so this one's for you Podlords. Quattro Bergino with the face scar. And it's clearly Jingaria.
That one's on the house. That one's on the house.
I mean,
I hope everyone forgets by next week.
With his plans throughout all of Gundam Universal Century, he deserves it.
Hey, at least I can figure out what Char was up to. He's a pedophile. I can't figure out what the fuck Jingaria's plan was other than he's mad.
God.
It's pretty fucking transparent with Char. All you have to do is watch Char's counterattack where it becomes the text. Oh God, I don't need pedo Jingaria.
No, we don't.
Oh God, this was definitely not his plan.
Thank God.
But that's all I've been playing.
Yeah, that's all he's been playing. Hey Chris, what have you been playing?
So I played and beat Stellar Blade.
Wow. How long did that take you?
Like 20 hours.
Okay.
And I even did most of the side. I think all of the side quests. So it becomes a lot less Souls-like after that opening sequence.
Oh, that's good.
Like you do like a big chunk of Soulsian type linear areas, and it's like, okay, now we're gonna take you to the hub. Now you're gonna get to go out into the. It's not an open world. It's like a lot, like an empty lot, full of side quests.
Okay.
And you do the empty side quest, and then then it takes you to like another set of Dark Souls levels, and then another set of Dark Souls levels, and then it's over because there's only 2 areas in the game. 2 of the side quest areas.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like there's only 2 like maps full of bullshit like that. I'm going to take it back to GameStop tomorrow.
Oh.
Wow.
I liked it, but it has the exact same problem as Sekiro. It's like you made a Souls-like that doesn't have builds. Like I beat it once, and what am I ever going to do ever again? Play the same game again? Like, because you have that skill tree, but if you're doing the side quest, they dump points on you.
Yeah, you don't have other weapons or anything, right? To like.
No, you don't. You don't have other weapons. You get a lot of stuff. Like you do get more moves than just the cooldown moves, but they're not the cooldown moves. But the blue meter.
Mm-hmm.
You get another resource that does a different set of moves.
Is it like a harder difficulty you go through on?
Yeah, there is a hard mode, but fucking. I would have considered it, but the last this game is not difficult at all for me, at least. I waltzed through it. Like it hardly, like the bosses hardly slowed me down at all. Then except for the last 3 bosses, which all feel like they're from another game. It's like you walk into this game that has been relatively easy, and the final boss of Sekiro is just standing there waiting for you stanced up.
That is a lot.
I think the final bosses took me like 3, 4, and 2 hours.
Good lord.
Yeah. The last 2 really got on my nerves because they kind of been like, well, it'd be too easy. They go into the DMC pool of tricks a little bit. Of just, you're beating my ass too hard. Here's a cutscene that resets the neutral. But yeah, like, if Yoko Taro praising this game tricked you into thinking that the writing would be anything, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. If you heard Yoko Taro's praise and thought it meant writing,
And not there's a pretty anime girl.
Yeah, shocker. The guy who makes games where scantily clad anime women do cool sword things likes a game where a scantily clad anime woman does cool sword things. That's pretty much it. There's a lot of costumes though, and you can even change the color of her hair.
That's neat.
I accidentally made her look like Penny from Endless Mondays.
that's great.
Because I made her hair blue and then I put her in the sweater dress.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if there was a blurple option. That's cool that they have that blue.
It's bizarre because you can change your hair color, but only to certain colors per hairstyle.
Huh.
And I wonder if that's something they're going to change in a patch, because it's like you get like 5 color options for each hairstyle, and they're not all the same. But yeah, it's neat. I think it maybe actually has a little bit too high of a Metacritic score. Man, putting like Souls shit into your game just like is just like giving your game a free buff for reviewers. Because I'm like, this should. I feel like the Metacritic for maybe it is now because it was like 84 when it launched, so maybe it went down at some point. But I'm like, I feel like the Metacritic for this game should start with a 7.
That's rough.
I mean, I liked it, but it's not an immaculate super game. It's good. I think we need more games of this scope and scale.
Was this 60 or 70?
It's 70.
Yeah.
Okay.
This has Sony's marketing might behind it. That shit's 70.
Yeah. I'm excited because I have gone back and played Sekiro several times now. That's probably my favorite FromSoft game since the PS2.
Wow.
Probably.
Shit,
So
one more. Let me get one more wow in there. We got the button over here. Just fucking...
Wow.
Weird. Chris sounded mildly lower quality there for a second. That's fucking strange. Wow.
Yeah, other than the last couple bosses just being fucking hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like really hard.
Now
But
just
they- but they
Boojin guy.
But they never.
No, that's the last thing I need 19 hours into a dead stream.
Right?
They never got to the feeling of despair of it's like this is impossible. The way the final boss of Sekiro and the Orphan of Kos in Bloodborne, the Bloodborne DLC made me feel where it's like we're like I don't fucking understand what you want me to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then it turns out the answer is learn every single one of their telegraphs perfectly by slamming your face into the brick wall for 4 hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's sure pretty game.
You know, obviously we know the answer for us, but we don't for Chris. Hey Chris, you gonna play Hellblade?
I have an Xbox and I might as well. It's probably the last exclusive they're ever releasing.
Oh my god. Indiana Jones isn't, they promise.
Yeah,
They don't really promise so.
It's the only it's the last exclusive that we won't know from announcements or leaks is coming to other platforms at some point.
So this is the last cultural event you could be a part of with your Xbox, is what you're saying.
That's really how it feels. I mean, I just have to buy 1 month of Game Pass. Hey, Microsoft, did you realize that Game Pass is a bad idea? Where I just said, quite literally, I will buy 1 month of Game Pass to play your $70 game.
What?
Hey, that game's only $40.
That's
really?
true.
I forgot.
So they're only half stupid. That's how that works.
So I'll try it until it's like, oh, this is bad. Goodbye.
Oh,
Not only is bad, but the main creative force of your studio left. So now I'm just confused why this exists at all, other than Microsoft told you it had to.
Yeah, they sure did market a game with this pre-rendered CG thing, and then everyone, for some reason, pretended that was how the game would look, and so now they have to ship a game. That's so many smart decisions all in a row.
Also, I can't speak to the quality of the voice track at all because I played in Korean.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, this is a Korean game. I wasn't really vibing with the voice that Eve has in English.
Yeah, she's very British, which I didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe they're like, well, Bayonetta's British sounding. She's got that nanny vibe. They should have given her the nanny vibes. Had her sound like she's from Jersey.
If
you could get Fran Drescher voicing that woman, I would buy that game twice.
Developer, I will be the biggest ride or die person for your game possible. If you just do Fran Drescher voices action heroine.
Yeah.
That would be so much. No, the world isn't ready, but it should be.
It would be a cultural event. It would reset society itself as we all just go, oh my God, who knew? We've been sleeping on this. That'd be incredible. Did you play anything?
I also played more Grandia.
But before you leave Stellar Blade,
Sure,
I just need to know, are there any men who look like attractive, or is it just that one guy? Or have cool designs in general? Because I guess
there are tons of really cool sci-fi designs in this game.
Okay.
None of them are for characters that matter.
Nice.
They're for NPCs you do side quests for.
Weird.
Huh. In this copy.
I played more Grandia. That's fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, seeing you tweet about it makes me want to go play Grandia real bad, but it's like, I can't. No.
I gotta play these 7 other RPGs and then Eiyuden.
Yes.
If you're playing Grandia, nothing tells you this, but it is very important for this game. So, I'm not sure entirely exactly how it works. It seems like maybe once because in Grandia, characters can equip specific weapons. Justin can equip a sword, a mace, or an axe. Sue, the little Scrunko girl, can equip a bow or a mace. And they also learn magic, and every character can learn 4 elements of magic: fire, water, wind, and earth. And I believe the way it works is because doing an attack levels up your weapon you have equipped, that weapon skill, and casting a spell levels up that element. I believe how it works is once the level matches your level, like your character level, the experience you get for that weapon goes down a lot.
Oh, okay.
So this is important because leveling up a weapon still increases your stats.
Yeah, also leveling up 2 different weapon skills could unlock a weapon skill for one you don't expect.
Yeah, you can equip combinations, unlock skills, but more importantly, because it's like, no, you need to be switching. Different weapons give different stats when you level them up.
Mm-hmm.
Different spells give different stats when you level them up. So do not just be like, I like swords, so Justin's going to be sword guy. Because you need to give him that axe, because the axe gives him strength when it levels up, so he will do more damage the more you level up axe.
This is the mistake I made playing through the first time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That is
level up
also
the
the
axe.
mistake I made, I'm pretty sure. Oh, here's another tip. When you get to the Dom ruins a little ways into the game, there is a trap that damages the entire party slightly. 10 feet back from that trap is a save point that heals you. That's where you level up water, because water is your healing spells. So you walk into the trap, everybody takes damage, you heal them, you walk into the trap, everybody takes damage, you heal them. And when you're at MP, you just walk 10 steps back to the save point that refills all your shit for free.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
This sounds like Quest 64 strats.
A little bit. But that's all in menus, right? That's not in battle.
Yeah, it's all in menu.
So that's
You're
so
not
much better.
changing which environment you're in and then running in a way that makes it think you traveled the entire distance, so your speed goes up insanely.
Oh, here's another tip. Saving manually using the in-game save points is authentic and all.
Mm-hmm.
If you're playing on PS4 or PS5, use the save states. Because if you want to rotate your saves, for every save block you are using, it takes 5 additional seconds to load the saving menu.
Fuck you.
Whoa.
Because it's like, okay, you get the blocks, and it's like, loading, this slot is this, 5 seconds. This slot is this, 5 seconds. This slot is this, 5 seconds.
That is my least favorite thing about PS1 games.
Yeah, I forgot that was such an issue back then.
Yeah.
So just use the save states inside the PS5, PS4 functionality.
I'm gonna blame the Magic Gate technology. I bet that's what did it. And then the chat goes, "What the fuck is Magic Gate?" I'm like, this motherfucker doesn't know about Magic Gate.
That's when Nixon killed that wizard, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. I watched the Speed Racer movie this week, the 2008 Speed Racer movie.
Oh,
by
nice.
Wachowskis.
Yeah.
That movie sure is overindulgent, probably to the point of its detriment.
But it's kind of entertaining to see it do that.
I'm so torn on whether or not that movie's good. It's so complicated because it's like, okay, this stuff's all really cool. This part's going on way too long. They really love like having a character's head pan across the screen and that being the transition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do it like 3 times a minute in some parts of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Racer X's costume is really bad. He looks like live action Shar Aznable from that terrible G Savior.
Jesus.
Like that's how he looks. That's how that costume looks. That's like
rough.
shit.
That's rough.
Check that movie out if you like. I also have. So a friend gave me a late birthday present this week.
Okay.
They didn't know that. Sadly, they didn't know I had no use for it.
Okay.
Or maybe I do have a use for it. I don't know yet. They got me a Powkitty portable gaming system. It is one of those emulation portables.
Okay.
And I want to compare it to the Analog Pocket because this thing has dual analog sticks and 4 shoulder buttons, but it's still shaped like a Game Boy. So I feel like ergonomically, it's a piece of shit.
Yeah, that sounds like a fucking ergonomic nightmare.
Right?
But it's supposed to play everything up until the N64 and the PSP.
There's no way it does it well, but I'm sure it does to some extent.
So I feel like I have to test and because I haven't fucking gotten the Analog Pocket hooked up yet. I don't fucking go anywhere except work. we destroyed all third spaces in America. Where am I supposed to go?
It's true.
Played at the fucking grocery store.
What an
Yeah.
awesome thing we did. Sorry to anyone who has no idea what that even means, because you were born into an era where it had already been done.
Yeah, if you're young, there used to be places other than work and home, or school and home if you're a student.
Someone raises their hand. Yeah, you in the back. Other people's homes? No.
So I would like to compare it and be like, well, and maybe it'll be useful. If it does PS1 shit halfway competently, it will still be sort of useful because the analog pocket can't do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think there's a core, but it doesn't have sticks or 4 shoulder buttons, so it's
Right.
intrinsically limited in its usefulness in that capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I got.
Oh, okay. Well, that's it for this episode. A big thing to mention.
It was a good one.
Oh, man. You know, people are sitting here and they're like, Bob's going to be back. This one's going to be longer. And haha, joke's on you. It was only 2 hours and 10 minutes. Chris, what do you, because we like to say this before we go into Podlord. What are you doing coming up?
I'm still on hiatus.
Oh, okay. That's understandable.
I haven't had time to seriously work on the FF8 shit yet because I got told if you do 40 hours of work in 3 weeks, you'll save a bunch of money on renting a dump trailer. If you do 40 hours work in 3 days, you'll save a bunch of money on renting a dump trailer because you'll only have to pay $120 3 days instead of 5.
Huh. Yeah, okay.
Will you survive?
Will you survive?
It's already done. I finished today.
Hooray!
Great.
He survived. Bob and I, or actually, hey, Aggro, do you have anything coming up? Would you like to talk about?
My quinceañera is a week from Tuesday.
Oh my goodness, Bob, we're gonna have to go back to Niceville. Bob.
Yeah.
Do you have anything Aggro should talk about coming up? Do you know what?
I can't think of
Nothing?
anything.
It's tomorrow?
No.
Nothing tomorrow.
No,
Nothing.
I don't think.
We're playing Devil May Cry 4 with Dr. Aggro tomorrow over on twitch.tv/GigaBoots. This will be the first time I've looked at this game since watching any of Bleach. Oh boy.
Dan, why would that matter?
As I even found out lightly playing Devil May Cry 5. Like, oh. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be really interesting. And Aggro gets to join us to carry on our grand tradition of playing through Devil May Cry games. And Aggro is there and maybe has a bird son.
Maybe.
It's really unclear. The wiki's dead now, so no one really knows. Aside from that, I don't know. I don't think I got anything going on other than possibly the Podlords!
Oh, fuck.
Where'd they come from?
Zuma Ninja. Damn. Yes, that's right. No signal. The Podlords! Podlords such as BN12, Red Blaze 27, Suzushiro, Some Manner of Beast.
Unidentifiably right.
He's adorable. 101 Shades of Wonderful Remastered. WTF, Spider-Man. Crazy WWE moments, Gene Snitsky punts baby. What?
Sure.
Is that?
Search me.
Instead of paying $250 for Tarkov DLC, you can subscribe to the Patreon for 50 months. and be a step ahead of Jin Karia's plan.
Oh my God.
His head is like sinking into that shirt.
It is.
This motherfucker's wearing the weird, like, fake body that Schwarzenegger did in that movie. DFW 3K. Muckbun. Shiny Mew. Bringing it back.
Wow, yeah. It's been a while.
Nice.
Shiny Mew with her ant mouth. Every time I see it, I'm like, it's so sharp. I'm scared. Kristen. Normal ass Juicifrost. The EDF are now recruiting VTubers.
Huh. I guess that makes sense.
They're used to dealing with that. Jin Paria.
No.
Yep.
I'm gonna say stop showing us the Par Brothers. I'm gonna say that would be an upgrade.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're still just hanging out. Just hanging out. Indigo Sykes. A rat named Truffle with a threatening aura. Truffle's clearly planning something.
Oh, he's just happy.
Okay.
He straight up got that Master Splinter face going on.
No, that's true. That's true. If I make people search twice, I can show them twice as many ads. Audio listeners, this will not make sense without the visual. For the opponent, this was the hardest match of their life, but for Eddie, it was Tuesday.
I don't get it.
There was a bot that was playing Eddie that kept spamming that move over and over and just won. Just threes, nonstop.
Yeah.
Non-fucking stop. And people just went, I can't, and rage quit.
Typical Eddie Gordo behavior.
It's true!
Yes.
Aggro!
Get good.
Harada, I will never forgive you for this. Shinji16 and Tagfer would again like to remind you that you matter. You are valid and you deserve to be happy. It has side mouths on its head.
Yeah, I don't like tag fur.
A raccoon that wants to give you a hug. Aww.
I thought it was going for some high fives.
It can be both. Do a high five and then a hug, you know? Never forget what Saban took from us. No, I watched that show. That's called Power Rangers. Pretty sure they're the reason why I watched it, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just unclear. The Super Mim. Don't worry, everyone. If we throw enough money into it, well, surely we can make another super game just like Baldur's Gate 3. Trust the plan. Sarlene. Timothy Pfister has started Trails into Reverie, and Chris was right. This may, in fact, be history's funniest character.
Yeah. Of course, it's the Code Geass one.
Bearded Joe. Krungle Spum. Pleochrome. Oh, fuck. The Horse Lords. I may have talked about me and Ulysses S. Grant on the Just Chatting stream.
Oh, I see.
Talking about the horse lording that the book is all about. The historically accurate Horse Lord Quarterly magazine that Ulysses wishes he was in instead of Robert E. Lee. Nice progress on the fitness journey, Dan. Anyway, here's a stinger sub. A Philly cheesesteak with buffalo chicken tenders. That looks fucking delicious. It is two of my top sandwiches combined. How is this a thing? And how is this how I found out?
Yeah, I need that one that's like that. What is it called? The Fat Daryl. That's chicken tenders, French fries, and mozzarella sticks and marinara sauce.
Oh my god.
Fuck, that sounds incredible. That's like a fucking poutine sandwich, but it's marinara instead of gravy. Oh my god. All I ate today before this fucking podcast was like a wafer thin protein bar. This is killing me. I'm altering Stellar Blade's outfits. Pray I do not alter them any further. He's putting stuff from MiHoYo sequels that don't exist into the FGO crossover event. What is your plan, Mushroom Man? Fun fact, I don't fucking get this.
Right? That seems complicated.
Is it Fate?
Yes, I would assume that what is happening is that MiHoYo, one of the Type Moon things that is not Fate, because they all fucking cross over with Fate Grand Order. There is a Fate Grand Order crossover going on where they reference things that exist in a theoretical sequel to MiHoYo that is not real.
Holy shit.
That sounds like something you do.
Yeah, that is just my assertion, yeah.
Halfway through a 10-day work week before my vacation. Mixed feels.
Ugh.
Enjoy your vacation when you get there.
Right.
Uriale? She cute. She got purple hair. Good job.
This is all it takes.
I think oh no, that's Cersei.
I finally figured out what was wrong with my copy of Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. How is a Dreamcast playing Surf's Up? Yo, that's
I don't know. I've never seen Surf's Up. I've only seen the sequel that has WWE wrestlers in it that I only watched because of content.
Yeah, this is great vibes. Is this a VR chat world? Do we got Sybil next to her Dreamcast in this VR chat world?
I see you went for the accessibility option and turned on her pants.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the accessibility option of a laser tag carpet. And Plan Spencer.
Okay, this one doesn't work for me because Phil Spencer has never had a plan.
We're increasingly becoming aware that there was never once a plan.
I feel like my problem with this is that it looks too much like he's drooling, and not enough like a scar.
Meanwhile, my core conceit is that it should have been Phil Splancer or Phil Plancer, right?
God.
That's.
I feel like Phil Spencer deserves to be turned into Shusuke Amagai. I feel like that's the power scaling we're at here.
I thought you were gonna fucking say third seat Kabune. I swear to God.
Like, if any gaming executive should be Jin Karya, it's Jim Ryan. Because he very clearly had a plan that didn't fucking work at all.
Yeah, he fucking didn't have a cohesive plan in the least, other than, well, I should get rid of these people who might be able to replace me someday and then ruin the company. Anyway, so thank you very much to our Podlords.
Thank you, Podlords. And if you'd like to become a Podlord, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcast. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to many benefits such as early access to Chugging, Bleach, and Pokemon Go to the Movies, our 2 monthly anime review podcasts, one of which is about to get a rocket shoved up its ass. Spoilers. You also get a patron-funded show, one a month, where we either watch a good thing, and that is a private, and talk about it, and that's a private show for patrons only, or we watch a bad thing and talk about it, and that's a public show, but patrons get a private commentary track for such horrible things as Nintendo Quest, X-Men Origins Wolverine, The Wizard, many things that of varying degrees of you should never watch this, or maybe you should. You also get an entire movie called Isolation 119. This is not a joke or a bit or hyperbole. It is a full movie-length movie about a man going on a trip to Thailand to solve the injuring of his brother, not murder, injuring. But in reality, it is all a ruse for him to get a tax write-off on his vacation to Thailand. That's patreon.com/GePodcast. And if you don't have any money, it always helps us immensely to tell your friends, Rate us on Thursdays. Post about us in random Reddit threads until you get banned. It's Reddit. Who cares? Rate us on your podcasting app of choice and leave a comment and subscribe on YouTube if you're listening that way right now. That's patreon.com/GB podcasts.
I hear we have news.
We do.
We do have news. When it comes to this news, I wonder who should go first. Bob and Chris always have such meaty segments.
Maybe nobody should go first and Evo Japan should go first.
Okay, sure. Let's do it.
All right.
Let me do. I didn't watch any of this, Bob. Did you keep up with this?
I watched the trailers, but I didn't watch any of the actual event.
Oh, okay. We'll let Chris run through it. Are you okay with that, Chris?
Sure.
Okay. You go ahead.
Iron Saga Verse announced it's a 2D mecha fighting game with original mechs and licensed ones like Mazinger Z and Dan Kuga, Super Beast Machine God. It kind of looks like Gundam Battle Assault, which, man, the super cries in Gundam Battle Assault 2 are like seared into my memory.
Yeah.
Like I always hear their Omar going, Gundam Hammer! Or just the really weird read Master Asia gave for Seki Ha Tenkyoken.
Yes.
That sounds completely unlike any read in the
anime, yeah.
In the anime. Or Duo yelling slash 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 when you do the Death Sight super.
But yeah, I thought this looked super cool. It's on Steam already for on wishlist, or you can wishlist it. And they got some videos. Definitely check it out. Like this really snuck out.
And that's Iron Saga Versus? Is that right?
Oh, yeah. I would say it looks like Super Robot Wars. I'm looking at the trailer here. I would say it kind of looks like a combination of that and the Gundam Battle Assault style.
Yeah,
because everybody's kind of short and squatty like Super Robot Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, get a Robo's in that. That's sick. This is like a dream game for some people.
We need to do our best to say that about the weirdest games you could say that about. I feel like
okay. There's a couple games we're going to talk about that I can say that about in this episode.
Right.
Incredible.
Marco Rodriguez, aka Kushnood Butt, has been announced for Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. I did not know that Marco Rodriguez was always his name in Japan, and they changed it to that bizarre other name for international and American release.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
The best theory anybody has is they didn't want to get him. They didn't want it to be too obvious that he's based on Rico Rodriguez, the MMA fighter from the time.
Which is funny because that never occurred to me until Chris said his name earlier, and I was like, "Yeah, that guy was popular at the time." It never occurred to me.
Does he look similar at all?
No.
Okay. Because I couldn't remember what Rico Rodriguez looked like, just that it was a name I heard going around. Whereas a lot of those times it was
maybe he looked closer at the time.
Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. It's showing me this actor.
Yeah, I don't really see it. Like, I don't see it enough that I feel like they'd be scared. So I don't know. I don't know why, but I'm really fucking excited for Fatal Fury City of the Wolves.
It keeps looking better every time they show it. So
that's rules.
I do like the game feel of SNK Fighters, but I don't really want to fuck around with learning three characters for the team stuff. So I'd be like, yeah, I'll just fucking play fucking Marco Rodriguez. He's fucking cool.
Right? And the
T-Zoc is cool.
T-Zoc is cool.
Yeah, it is. Like, getting to see them just work on a smaller roster like this, they get to polish everything more and make it.
I hope he has a costume switch to the completely different character, King of Dinosaurs.
Yeah, I hear that the King of Dinosaurs has this totally different kind of like dash. Like, he moves in a different way. He's obviously a different guy.
So that's a different guy.
Yeah, different guy.
Yeah.
I think all his moves are different.
So then he's definitely a different guy. You can't do different moves. That's not how it fucking works.
That's true. It'd be so funny if he's like DLC. It's like two versions of the same guy. Although SNK loves that. I think
one whole team they added in King of Fighters 15 was the Orochi forms of the characters.
Yeah, not just that, but God, what is the big fat wrestler guy's name from those SNK? Raiden.
Oh yeah.
He has an alternate version where he's named Big Bear, I think. Where he's like, because that's like his face version.
God, that had to be back in 12 or something, right? Because I don't think he showed up in any of the 3D ones.
I think it was. I think Raiden is in King of Fighters 1, and then Big Bear's in Raiden's in Fatal Fury 1, and then Big Bear's in Fatal Fury 2. He's like, I got my ass beaten, my heart woke up to justice, and I became a face.
That's funny.
I know people who thought, God, never mind. I can't remember the two real life wrestlers. They thought some real wrestler, these two different real wrestlers were the same guy because of SNK. They were both big and one wore a mask, so I thought they were the same guy.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Slayer announced for Guilty Gear Strive out May 30th.
Slayer.
Is Chip in Strive?
Yeah, Chip was in the initial roster.
So is there any like major huge returning character that people would want?
Jam Carrara.
Oh yeah, Grant Jam.
I'm sorry.
Jam Cranberry Crunch.
Is like fucking Jam Crunchberry?
Yes.
Is Possessed Guy? Is Zappa in?
No, Zappa's
already?
not in there.
Okay.
Zappa feels like he never shows up though.
Can they stick in Order Soul?
No.
I mean, they could.
Fucking
Is
man.
Axel's in, right? Axel Lowe.
Yeah, he was another one
Yes.
at launch.
I played this game so little, I fucking don't know anybody who's in it.
But yeah, the other major ones they're missing are Venom.
Oh, they're missing Venom. Okay.
Yeah, Venom's like Venom and Jam are the two big ones I always go to.
Dizzy.
Yeah, Dizzy's
Jam,
not in there yet.
Venom, Robokai, which
Robokai's important.
yeah. Every time I try to bring up characters I want back, people are like, they're dead. I'm like, okay, I'll shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that really matters in a fighting game.
Yeah,
right.
Fucking every time.
I'm willing
to
bet money that even though he's been dead for 20 years, somehow Geese Howard will be in City of the Wolves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course. And he's going to fall off the building.
Lydia Sobieska announced for Tekken 8. Is that a new character?
No, she's the last one they added in Tekken 7. She really should have just been an 8.
She really should have just been an 8.
But she's the
Poland.
Oh, she's the one based on that lady who was a meme for a little while.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yep.
Oh,
I forgot about that.
Because she's a blonde karate lady who is the prime minister of Poland.
Yep. That was in the Tekken. It's a good design. It's a great character. I love this character. I've never played as this character.
I actually played as her a lot and liked her a lot because she uses like Okinawan karate, whereas Jin uses more like Japan style, like Shotokan stuff. So it's more similar to what I practiced, and it's really cool to see that.
It's cool. Representation is important. Please put more Polish way. I mean, fucking karate shit in your video game.
Akuma is coming to Street Fighter 6 May 22nd.
Who?
Goki.
Akuma?
Oh, Goki!
Oh, yes, Goki.
Yeah, they changed the voice actor for some reason. He's not Richard Epcar anymore.
That's weird.
It is weird.
That is
He did a really good
strange.
job as Akuma.
Yeah.
That was a good casting. I don't know.
Yeah, the new guy seems okay, but it's just like that's not the same.
Although it's not like Richard Epcar has always been Akuma. He was only Akuma in 5 and Teppen.
Oh, he wasn't in 4?
Huh?
No, it was Dave Malo in 4. I don't even know who
okay.
that. I don't even. Let me see what other shit he did other than that. Oh, a bunch of shit that nobody would ever know. Okay, that's cool.
Oh yeah, they also had that trailer. I think this came out at the same time of the new locale for the summer update, where they show the beach area, and I just sort of got enthused about. Sorry, I'm talking about Tekken 8.
Okay, Tekken.
I like Tekken more than I like Street Fighter 6. Sorry, everyone. I know this is a personal failing. Anyways, they showed the beach level that they're going to do for the summer update.
Yes.
And I believe that was free. So that's cool as shit.
Yeah, there was some stuff that was free and some stuff that wasn't in that
Yeah, I
trailer.
think the
Because the trailer was
level's
like
free.
a bunch of stuff.
I always like Tekken getting to do a new like summer type level. I think weirdly enough, my favorite forever is going to be Tekken Tag 2, just because that had what's his name, Lee Chaolon, I believe, in the bikini in the background.
Oh yeah,
and that's funny as hell. Like I love that. He's just standing there being like,
Dan, that was Violet. It's a very different character.
"Oh, sorry, I mixed up Lee Chaolon and Violet. How could I do that?"
I mean, I'm pretty sure that was a level in one of the later games with Lee Chaolon.
What? No, but two great minds inspired in this same. Let's move on with the news, or we can talk about Akuma. Does anyone have anything? I mean, it's fucking
You got
Akuma.
to
Of
see
course, you
his,
want Akuma.
Like, they did a lot of really cool stuff. You actually see his raging demon. They show you what happens when the darkness happens this time.
I literally didn't watch the trailer because I want that to happen as I'm playing.
Fair.
I want to see it through that the first time.
Yeah, Akuma's really cool, but I'm still seeing like Alex, please, or Armika. I'll take either of them. I want my weird pseudo grappler back.
You don't have to preach that to me. I'm a big fan of both.
They need somebody from Third Strike. It's messed up. They don't have a single character from Third Strike.
Oh my god, do they not?
Yeah,
it's time for Makoto to come back, motherfuckers.
Yeah, it really is.
Everyone knows. But really, they'll bring back Alex first because it'll be funnier.
Yeah, I need Alex. I need to do my Tilt-A-Whirl DDT.
Uh-huh.
I need to do my stomp that like even I don't know if it's a cross up. Get fucked. Am I in front of you or behind you? Even I am not sure of that answer. Guess.
Oh man.
But yeah, the Arkham trailer, he looked really fun. He has lots of teleporting around. He's got like dive kicks. He's got the air Hadokens. He's got everything you'd want.
Good.
I'm excited.
That's awesome.
And that design's really cool.
Yeah. I saw concept early promo stuff, not trailer, because I know the Shangoku Satsu's in it. I need to pull it off, and then I can pop off.
I get that they decided to focus on the world tour story mode stuff, and that's all funny and cool. Capcom, you need to get with Netflix and make like a Street Fighter CG movie or something that like advances the story to 6.
Capcom CG, wow, what a high bar they have for CG productions over at Capcom. Monster
that Tekken
Hunter.
one was good. That Tekken one was good. So I have faith that if they actually tried, they could and cared.
They did that Resident Evil one with Netflix.
Yeah,
Fun
like
thing.
every time Netflix and Capcom get to that, they make the worst thing.
That's right. That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Get with Crunchyroll and do a CG Street Fighter movie.
I think people tried to say the Resident Evil CG movies were good. Not that fucking Netflix series. That
We're
was
talking
fucking
about
terrible.
Infinite Darkness, the miniseries. It wasn't
Thank
a
you.
movie; it was a miniseries, and it's terrible.
It was so bad, meaning it was better than most of the rest of the Capcom Netflix stuff, which was fucking what's the term?
Maybe that now that producer's gone, maybe they can get some actual quality tie-in stuff. Because oh my god,
was that Hiroyuki Kobayashi?
Yes.
Yeah, he was like executive producer on all that. And it's like, bro, what are you doing?
A bunch of shit related to Arcade X, Breakers Revenge Chicago, Asuka, 120% excellent.
No,
Rage of
Excellent.
X-Alent.
X-Alent.
Rage of the Dragons Double, Dojo Masters EX, Chaos Code next episode of Extreme Tempest parentheses Nemesis Experiment.
Nemesis Experiment is apparently like an abbreviation for that name, which I thought was insane. Because next, NE.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh. NEE. Okay.
And then they take,
yeah.
It's a mess.
What a nightmare. Fuck.
And Vanguard Princess R, Arcade Exa is a company that makes real arcade units, and these new versions of the games don't appear anywhere. Get fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff that came out during Evo Japan. And I was like, oh man, that sounds sick. A new version of Asuka 120. What? What do you mean? This sounds insane. Oh, we'll never play this. Never. We're not allowed.
That's sad.
That is sad. Okay, let's talk about the non-Evo news. Oh yeah, we forgot to talk about what was it? A teenage girl completely wiped the fucking money exchange puzzler game the day after on Big Think last week, because I played that during Sarah Lene's birthday subathon for the first time ever. I was like, I love this game. I love this fucking dog character. This is awesome. The next day, she appears like a demon in the middle of Japan and starts taking bodies. She wrecked everything. That's fucking awesome. Apparently, the lore with that ended up being her parents run an arcade. So this fucking monster has been out there training since inception. Fucking nuts. And the original character designer made new art for the dog boy and also some of the other characters. For people who don't know, this game's like Magical Drop. I'm just going to have to go with, you know what that is.
Yeah.
And they add a mechanic of different puzzle pieces need to be combined in different amounts to upgrade them to the next tier of puzzle piece. So it's a 1 yen coin. You need 5 of them to make a 5 and 2 5s to make a 10 and then 5 10s to make a 50 and then 2 50s to make 100. And it's just another layer added onto Magical Drop. It's kind of insane. It's really funny. Everyone in it is an idol. Everyone in it is like magical girl style.
Okay.
Like idol people. The one dude is the dog boy who looks like, if you win with him, it looks like the one good day of his miserable life has just occurred. I fucking lost it.
Yeah, I always wanted to play Money Exchange. It looked really cool.
It is cool. It's super dope. I was really happy that I got to play that on Sarah's stream. Anyway, that's the Evo news. We've been missing a little bit of news from the past couple of weeks, so this is a little bit of old news. Sony updated the PS5 community guides feature to now actually be community guides, not just game publisher guides. This is going to be free now, so it's now a free feature, and other users can create the guides.
Okay.
So you will... presumably, like the feature works now with the publisher-oriented stuff, the PS5 can tell what part of the game you're in and surface to you other guides made by other people to help with that part. The same firmware update that activated that made it so screenshotting on the PS5 is a lot more responsive. So thank God, because it used to literally take 4 to 5 seconds to finally make the sound after you hit the screenshot button, but now it's like 1 second. Like a little bit under 1 whole second. That's a lot better. The Switch is like instant.
Yeah, right.
It should be like that. I was fucking thrown for a loop when the PS5 shipped and it wasn't that instant. But I'll take this. This is reasonable. Thank you. Also, the Little Big Planet 3 servers going down in January is something Dr. Agro brought to the podcast. Well, recently we got new news. They are staying down forever. Fuck you.
Sony. This is not acceptable. How do they get away with this? It's literally, oh man, this thing you pay money for every month. And we had a slice and egg. We just never will update it again. I'm sorry. It was too hard. It broke.
We're increasing the price of PS Plus again.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel like a cynical piece of shit right now. Before the end of this year, they'll raise the price of PS Plus again.
Yeah.
They don't have to care now. Xbox is dead.
Well, yeah. This is a huge part of my, the thing we all pretty much agree upon here, but some people seem mystified on that. There's a really good chance the Switch 2 mulches the PS5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm really scared Nintendo will also get brains and be like, well, we can charge the same amount as Sony for online play on the Switch 2.
I bet they will.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if they will because they're such a kid-oriented console. They might keep it cheaper.
They might keep it cheaper, but
because if I know a lot of people who have that expansion pass just because it's still cheaper than PS Plus.
Uh-huh.
So I think they'll be like, well, we can upsell
an expansion pass sort of thing.
Yeah,
we can upsell an expansion pass, and if it's $20 instead of $60, almost everybody will have it instead of Sony's thing where like only 45% of people have PS Plus.
I think it's really funny when we talk about it like this, people seem to get really confused. It's like, no, we'll still play stuff on PS5 because they'll play everything better.
Right. We're talking about market performance,
right?
Where developers, like you already see many situations, even in Square Enix's catalog exclusively, where they shipped on Switch and didn't on PlayStation, when you see a situation wherein the Switch is now capable of playing PS4 Plus tier games, the argument for do we really need to aim something at this PS5 really starts to slip away more and more, especially with PC gaming taking off as much as it is in Japan and other situations. There is a real opportunity for the Switch 2 to just further drive the screws in on fucking Sony, and for us to really end up in a Switch PC like being the primary platform sort of situation. Now, I will try my best to play things on PS5 outside of the few situations where devs make the wrong choices on things like Eiyuden Chronicles or Granblue not running at 120. Because, I like my games to run at high frame rates and load instantly. And no matter how high-end the specs on the Switch 2 are, I bet there's still gonna be shortcomings when it comes to load times or just performance in general.
Yeah, it's a portable, so
It's a portable.
That's your trade-off.
Or Armored Core 6, where I didn't even get the PC version because I felt too guilty over the thought of spending even more money on that game. Even though the PS5 version can't even lock 60 because FromSoft fucked up making a PS5 version for the second time in a row.
Yeah.
They need to fucking
And
stop
they lied to us and said, well, the PS4 version is only 30. Actually, it's uncapped. So if you bought the fucking PS4 version, it's just better.
Anyway. Hey, Aggro, do you have some horrible news?
Okay, so this might be more of a product announcement than news, but there are people I know out there listening that need to be prepared for this, one way or another. So I'm really happy for you, or I'm sorry this is happening, but later on this summer, Jackbox is releasing something called the Jackbox Naughty Pack, which is an adult humor themed series of games.
Unironically super excited. I want this bad.
So
I need this.
This will either, depending on how your games and audiences are, unleash your group into new heights of putting genitals for the answer to every question.
I was like, what's the
Or
difference?
into lower hellish depths of putting genitals for the answer to every question, except now it's not irreverent, it's just what the prompt was, and everyone's awkward. So, good luck. I have no premonition for how this is going to go. But hey,
Same. Everyone's just writing the word cum.
Right. Like, what changes?
It's something different. I don't know.
What the prompt is going to be like? What would be funny if someone's blank tasted like? And blank would be the actual word, and then people would be like, "Come, wait, fuck, that's just literally what the prompt was. What the fuck am I doing?" Anyway, sure. Enjoy yourself, Chris.
Right.
Just a heads up, I'll be on any stream that does this. Just invite me, I'll show up. But anything that happens after that is your goddamn fault.
Yeah, that's been your policy with my fucking streams too. Anyways, excited for Devil May Cry for tomorrow. Bob, we are done with the rest of the news outside of yours and Chris's, so we will start with you.
Sure. We heard more about Shinji Mikami's new company. It's called Kamui.
Kamui.
Kamui?
Kamui.
It's Kamuy if you want to look it up.
See, it's like Kamui, except for it's like Muy Grande. Kamui.
He planned to leave Tango for 8 years. I don't know how he gets caught up in it for that long, but I guess it was just a lot of project that he felt like he was.
How long did it take us to move?
Yeah.
We're not a part of a 600-person company or whatever he has over there. It's definitely not 600.
No.
It's probably
more like 300, 200.
Yeah, probably. I was thinking it was upper 200s, 300s.
He wants to give younger creators more experience or more opportunities to gain experience, so he wants to do smaller scale games with shorter dev cycles.
Oh my god, wait, this is the legend, the prophecy. Games made by fewer people with more time to make it, and they look worse.
Yes, and he wants to get away from survival horror.
Oh my god.
Come on, God Hand.
Come on, God Hand. Did you see a bunch of people having a meltdown over you keep saying you want these games that look worse or made and look like PS2 games, but you didn't buy this piece of shit procedural generated sequel in a franchise that has a PS2 game?
Oh, shut up.
Yeah.
Every
This
fucking
week.
every fucking post like that is so fucking pathetic. Like, just shut up. Just shut up. Shut your goddamn mouth.
They're like, you're holding PS2 games on an unreasonable pedestal, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm playing them all the time, so no, I'm not.
Yeah, I saw people doing this for Endless Ocean.
That's the one I'm talking about. That's literally what I'm talking about.
It's like you're reacting like this over reviews to it. That's not sales.
That's not sales. That's not.
And that people say that about games they want in a genre they like, not in a where you explore the ocean.
Not only that, literally multiple reviewers, because of this weird backlash, came out and were just like, yeah, the game is really bad compared to the other entries in it.
Oh my God.
It's procedurally generated mush.
That's insane.
No, it's impossible for a sequel to a game made more than a sequel that came a 14 years later sequel to be worse. Oh no, that's never happened. It must be. I have to concoct a fucking Baroque web of contradictions and hypocrisies to explain this. Like, fuck off.
Solve my argument, Superman.
Yeah, you just want to be angry. That's all that is.
Yes! They literally just want to be angry at people who like games that aren't the modern AAA landscape. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Dan saying Superman solved my maze reminded me of a Final Fantasy Rebirth thing I have to confirm with Bob right now.
Okay.
Do I need to hit the button?
It's purely mechanical.
Okay.
The way gliding chocobos control is satanic, right? Because it's not inverted.
It's not. It's incorrect. It is absolutely incorrect. They do it for the other segments too, and it's wrong. I don't know why they did it.
Imagine you're controlling a glider, Dan.
Okay.
Pressing down makes you go down, and pressing up makes you go up.
That's just wrong. That's just wrong. That ain't right.
No, it's not. I don't know why. I don't know why they did that.
They just make it your camera control option. I'm like, but this is I'm controlling a glider. It works like a glider. It should function mechanically like a glider.
Yeah. You know, we have these things, these controllers for planes, RC planes, and we've had them for decades. And you know, when you push up, they don't try to go up. It's Anyways, hey Bob.
Hey,
More news.
Hasbro, they talked about this before. They reconfirmed it this week. They're working with Atomic Arcade on a Snake Eyes game.
Okay.
And they said it's not your daddy's G.I. Joe.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
No, stop it. Fucking stop it. How many times do we have to do this?
Like, you know, one of the most popular things in G.I. Joe was the old Marvel comic by God, what was the author's name? I'm trying to remember now.
This ain't your dad's G.I. Joe.
By Larry Hama, and Larry Hama was like, yeah, Reagan tanked the economy so Cobra was able to recruit disaffected, unemployed Americans. Like, that's like, did you just mean shitty compared to that? Is that how it's not your daddy's? Because that's my daddy's G.I. Joe. That shit was in the 80s.
Oh my God.
But it's allegedly like Arkham, the Arkham games for Batman.
Still haven't played one. Wow.
Does Snake Eyes have that much cultural clout still?
No. They last talked about this game when that new Snake Eye movie was about to come out, and then no one talked about that new Snake Eyes movie.
There was it the movie or there was something else where they made Snake Eyes Asian and a bunch of Republicans were mad about it?
I think
that
was
might have been the movie. Yeah.
That was I don't know if it was the first. Yeah, because that Snake Eyes movie takes place in the same universes. Yes. That movie bombed, but I guess it did come out still in the COVID window before movies came back, so who knows?
Right.
It reviewed. Oh no, it didn't review like dog shit. Never mind.
Oops.
Speaking of Batman Arkham games, they announced a new one. Exciting, right?
Yeah, everyone should be lighting up on the internet. I don't understand why isn't everyone talking about this game. Certainly, there's not one tag you can add to any game to get no one to give a shit about it, right?
So Batman Arkham Shadow announced for the MetaQuest 3 exclusively.
That would do it.
It's made by Camouflage. Those are the guys who did the Iron Man game and also the Iron Man VR game, to be specific. And
that's the former people who worked on Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah, so they made that one game that has David Hayter as a voice actor.
Republic.
Yeah, Republic.
Our Donathon wave goals will continue to educate and edify you on culturally important games that are not culturally important.
But that comes, or that doesn't have a release date yet, but we're going to find out more about it on
Summer Games Fest,
June 7th. I know you're also excited for this MetaQuest 3 game.
Let me go ahead and just real quick, before we dive into that specific aspect of this, let's just talk about real quick. Did anyone else, it's May 2nd, and this is not a joke. This is not hyperbole. Yesterday was May 1st, and I woke up in a cold sweat as I realized Summer Game Fest was coming, and my life was going to become that again. Did anyone else on this podcast network just have that moment already?
When they announced the date for the Microsoft thing, I got excited. I
love the game shit.
I'm always excited for it. It's scary, but I'm always excited for it.
Summer Games
There'll
Fest
probably be a lot less this year
fine.
because they all got shut down.
Damn. It's the other things we end up in.
Other than the TKO Expo.
OTK. One True King, yeah.
Other than that.
Well, yeah, that set a baseline for the rest of time. That was one of the worst things I've ever fucking seen.
Other than that, I exact some manner of joy out of all of those, even if they're horrible.
Yeah, I honestly, they're not so bad now. I honestly really love the Wholesome Direct. That's one of my favorite shows every year.
No, I
get to see all these adorable games. And the PC game show, at least we get fucking stupid shit now in that. Devolver is always delightful.
Then they broke canon.
I'd like it if Sony started coming to these again. That's
what
it would take it to really.
I have no problem necessarily with doing it. I've always loved watching conferences. It's the slipshod manner in which they're all arranged, which makes it take 7 days when it could take 3.
Yeah, no, it feels like they're all playing Trash Panic. They just throw it all in the bin and it crashes in the ground.
Our Donathon waves. I'm just kidding. The Trash Panic is not on wave 5.
They need to all get back together again and do it, consecutively on the same day and then start streaming that shit to theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Xbox was doing that. I don't know if they'll still. I feel like they stopped at some point, didn't they? Xbox saw that Sony did it and they did it once or something.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I feel like Jeff Keighley even did it once.
It's true. Yeah. So that's a MetaQuest 3 exclusive, and that's going to be talked about more on June 7th, apparently. We were having a discussion in the, by the way, in case anyone really lost track of it, we were talking about Batman Arkham Shadow. We were talking about how, Meta's out there actually giving money to get exclusives. And since all my PC gamer friends who have VR, I'm sorry, none of them buy games.
Right.
They bought games years ago, and they're still using mods and things for them has been largely what I've discovered. So that means the people buying games are on the Quest anyway, seemingly, or at least on PSVR 2, which, since it's not selling like hotcakes, means they're mostly on the Quest anyways, which is why the Quest keeps getting exclusives.
Right.
Because they don't have to pay much, and that's where most of your copies were going to be sold anyways. Reminder, we're still waiting on, I believe it was called Sushi Ben, The Way of Sushi or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't have a date or any idea on what was it? That RPG that actually got insanely high scores last year as a Quest exclusive RPG. It was like 9.7s or some shit.
I remember
think
you
one
talking
place
about
gave
it,
it a 10.
I cannot remember.
Someone in chat might remember, but that shit still has no sign of showing up anywhere else ever. What's up, Bob?
Do you think the Arkham Shadow is Jason Todd? Also, will this be your first Arkham game?
That would be so good! I actually am trying to make moves so that way I can try out the Quest 3. I'm a little reticent. I own a Quest 2, but I hear a lot of positive things about the Quest 3.
Right.
And
I
would
heard
love
nothing but better stuff about it.
tons of really good stuff about it. And I really want to give it a chance. $500 is a little steep for me to give it a chance. So I'm trying to see if I can line something else up. Asgard's Wrath 2, or Asgard Wrath 2, is the name of that RPG that did insanely well last year.
Yeah, that's bundled with it now too.
Yeah, that game apparently is really fucking good and has no announcement to come to anything else.
So I discovered something looking up stuff about that Snake Eyes movie a second. You might have heard my voice as I was about to say it reviewed well and then went, oh no, it actually reviewed like shit. I was confused because Google now, when you know the Google summary, it now gives you user score for Rotten Tomatoes. I assume when it gives you whichever one is higher.
Okay.
But I confirmed it with a couple additional movies just now.
Uh-huh.
And it did it for all of them because they all had really low critic scores but higher user scores. So that feature's now useless.
Great.
You have to actually click through to the Rotten Tomatoes site to see the actual score.
Bob, let's move on.
Yeah, sure. Koei Tecmo is making a new AAA studio.
Dope.
That's exciting. They put out a diagram of like how their studios are set up. And, so this AAA studio is going to make console major titles. And to like put that against their other companies, they have the Omega Force, which does console major titles, console titles, and mobile titles / online titles.
Hi.
Sorry, what?
I said hi, which is Japanese for yes.
I thought you said play, and I was like, what do you mean? Team Ninja does all three as well.
Just gonna say random verbs over here.
And then they have places like Gust.
Neil.
Which only does console games, which are, just so we're clear,
Not console major titles.
Not major titles.
No. Engage.
And online / mobile games. And Ruby Party, which I'd never heard of them.
Me neither. What the fuck are they?
Yeah, I don't know what Ruby Party is, but they also
Yeah.
are the same
Oh,
tier as
they make
Gust.
Otome games. They make Otome games, so they've probably shipped a million things on the Switch.
Yeah, so this is going to be a new thing for them where the studio does nothing but AAA games. So that might be interesting. I'm excited to see them work on more stuff over at Koei Tecmo.
All it reminds me of is Luminous Productions.
Yeah, fair. But I hopefully won't have their own custom engine just for the studio.
Hey, Koei Tecmo, localize some of the Angelique games.
No.
Like every single fucking Otome related isekai is based on these, because that if you've ever seen a thing where it's like it's an Otome game but also an RPG, that's that franchise.
Huh.
Evil Lucario is saying Ruby Party made a first-party Nintendo game that's Japan only, Buddy Mission Bond. 1, incredible name.
Yeah, that thing.
2, I'm pissed.
We also found out more about Star Wars Hunters this week, which a game that's not canceled, which I figured it was. We haven't heard about this in like a year plus. But it is the Overwatch like Star Wars game coming out for Switch and mobile.
Right. That.
This is the launch trailer that they put out. It comes out June 4th.
Is Disney stupid? Aren't they also releasing that Marvel one this year?
I think
It's coming out in a month and 2 days?
It's coming out in a month and 2 days. This launch trailer still didn't show any gameplay. To find gameplay, I looked it up 2 years ago. They released a gameplay trailer.
What the fuck are they doing?
And the only other content I've seen gameplay-wise is random streamers playing the beta. And that was like a month ago. They're just shipping this out to die.
All right.
Which makes sense. They didn't even bother putting it on real consoles. They put it on the Switch and in mobile.
Right.
They clearly don't have much confidence in it.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, we probably should have covered this earlier. We got the game or Xbox Game Showcase date. It's going to be June 9th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, which I believe is noon here. And it'll be followed directly by the Redacted Direct.
Redacted Direct. It could be anything.
But it is Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's fucking Call of Duty.
I think it was codenamed Cerberus or something, and it has a
Yeah,
Cerberus.
and the exact image they use for the promotion is in the files
Yeah.
for the most recent Call of Duty.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be Call of Duty Black Ops Gulf War, and have open world elements.
I'm so
Stop.
excited. I'm
Stop.
so excited.
Their open world of so
Nightmare,
bad.
nightmare. Oh, you shouldn't do that. And then I fixed Call of Duty. Oh, well.
I mean, it doesn't take much to beat the last 2 Call of Duty games.
Oh, you have a bad Battlefield clone to ship? Fucking serve me up a plate of that, because it's better than this tepid garbage I've been eating since the launch of these consoles!
It is Treyarch again, so maybe the trigger haptics will be back to being good.
Wouldn't that be incredible? What if instead of bad, thing good?
What if? Maybe the unlocks won't be insane. I doubt it.
You know COVID put us in a weird timeline, because I immediately went, wait, this Treyarch Call of Duty is like my favorite in a while. What? And then I started disappearing, like Back to the Future. I'm like, no way!
Right? It was messed up. So there are currently rumors going around that Kingdom Hearts is getting a live action movie. It's going to be CG hybrid.
What's up?
So I kept saying how the MCU will be replaced by video game adaptations. Did you know that I think that Knuckles show is the most watched Paramount Plus thing ever?
Yeah. Yeah, it brought to the top of that list immediately.
It's happening. God help us.
Oh, yeah. No. It was obviously going to happen. Mario was too big.
Yeah, and then that Fallout show also did insanely well, like last week.
And then they immediately followed up with, oh, yeah, we're going to make a Zelda thing, and who even knows what else we can make over here at Nintendo. And then Halo. But anyways, the other things did well. So like,
Oh man, Todd Howard was like, yeah, they were so authentic on the Fallout show. We sent them 3D models of stuff, and they're like, oh, we're 3D printing out these props right now. And it's just Halo fans getting pissed in the quote tweets, just seething. He's like, I'm so happy for you, Fallout fans.
reminder, 343 was largely, to begin with, a brand handling company for Halo. Halo was just supposed to be handled by them, meaning there should be fleets of people whose sole job is to do the thing Chris just described.
Yep.
I just can't stand what they've done.
Anyway, they should pay George Lucas any amount of money to come back and write and direct the Kingdom Hearts movie.
You're right. I hate that he's right.
I don't know, man. I still think it should just be a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. It just straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm also.
Where's
okay with
Captain Jack Sparrow? He's not here anymore.
Someone's gonna end up in that theater just wanting to watch a fucking Pirates movie. You're gonna be like, what the fuck is this Door to Darkness shit?
Yeah, because the end of the movie is just like, yeah, there's a Keyblade graveyard.
Right. They're gonna be like, why is everyone wearing fucking helmets?
What is
Pirates
this?
didn't. What the fuck am I watching?
Why this Backstreet Boy here?
The only way I would be super down with this is if Kingdom Hearts, the games itself, get so far up their own ass. It's like Sora visits the Kingdom Hearts movie world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, like, do you think this movie is going to be stringently self-contained and walled off? Or will it be part of the broader, now recursive Kingdom Hearts universe?
It's going to be that.
So would Sora be the live action part, or would the humans he's
don't
acting
know.
Oh, you would go to that world and Sora's look would change to look really photorealistic.
Yes,
And then
that's
he
the
would
ideal.
engage with the uncanny humans.
You just take like a flat photo of game model Sora and Angela Anaconda that shit.
Fucking... You gotta stop bringing up Angela Anaconda. You gotta stop bringing up... Dude, it is so not okay that you bring that up.
I mean, there comes a point though where, like, if you make the Kingdom Hearts movie, and then in 4, if there's enough time, or some other game, you visit the Kingdom Hearts movie world in a Kingdom Hearts game, that you very quickly run into an infinite Sora loop
Yeah.
where he just keeps arriving.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of those scenes where it's like characters like infinitely mirrored.
I just remembered the one from one of the bad Star Wars movies where Rey gets
It's Last Jedi, I think. It's Last Jedi, I think. Where she has the infinite. I think the evil face is from Rise of Skywalker.
I saw it was in.
It's only evil. It's only evil in Rise of Skywalker. It's just
Okay.
normal her in The Last Jedi. Because her being evil in the mirror is quite frankly the dumbest fucking thing they could do. So that's why it's in The Rise of Skywalker, because that movie's hilarious.
Yes.
Spiff says, I hope Aggro submits Digimon movie for Bless Blontet Blub just so Dan has to see Angela Anaconda. I don't think it's attached anymore, right? On home release?
Yeah.
They're not surgically attached at the hip anymore. You can watch.
I mean, if Spiff's that dedicated to it, I can just be like, fuck it, cursed content this month is 3 episodes of Angela Anaconda.
Jesus.
No. Not like this. Not like this.
The Angela Anaconda versus Pepper Ann podcast.
Oh, I wonder who will fucking win. I wonder which is actually good at all. Let us investigate deeply.
I'm glad I can't quite remember Angela Anaconda. I know the
Okay,
name,
for
but
you.
I can't draw an
That's
image.
the one where they're gray, but it's actual photos of a human being as the faces.
Oh, that
there you go.
thing.
There you
Yeah.
go, Bob. That's why I hate this.
I
And the
never
fact we're
saw it.
talking
I just saw
about
it ads.
That's good. That's good. It's good that you never saw it. Good for you. Let's move on.
Sure. So limited run games doing a funny thing.
Oh, is this funny? Is
hilarious.
this like I'm gonna hear it and go haha, or I'm gonna hear it and go haha? You should go to prison.
It's that second one.
Oh, okay, cool. What are they doing?
So they sold a bunch of limited edition like 3DO games,
Yes.
like for D.
Yeah, I honestly, if I wasn't so against this company because of their past activities, I would have gotten the D one because D is dope.
So those are just CDRs. They're just printed disc on a CDR.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, when you make a disc, you can press the disc or you can burn it in a computer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because of the natures of retro consoles and consoles in general, you need to press that.
Right.
There are reasons. And apparently, this being on CDR, it is not working on people's systems.
Yeah. Most people's systems do not play these because the 3DO is picky and it's old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is either criminal levels of incompetence or criminal levels of fraud.
People found out because of D, those that were actually showing at people's houses. I don't know if you can still cancel your Plumbers Don't Wear Ties orders, but you might want to do that.
Knowing limited run, probably not. You probably cannot cancel
Probably
a
not.
pre-order. But, if you're getting Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, don't admit it to us. But do go cancel your pre-order.
God, I can't believe they're getting away with that.
Yeah, this company's terrible.
Yeah.
I feel
Man.
like they've gotten worse since they got acquired by Embracer. Like it became the same thing where it's like, well, now you have to make we want more profit, so you have to do the same thing with less money or just die.
Yeah, I don't know. They were.
And apparently they've released some statement about it of like, but we looked into pressing a disc and it just was too complicated. I was like, what?
That's your job.
That's the product you're
That's
making, you
what
motherfucker.
You're making, you
Fuck.
dipshit.
Yeah.
Then you don't get to sell it. What are you, Tesla? Oh, making our car was hard, so we just made a shitty one.
God, fuck off. Jesus Christ.
In better news, Twitch streamer Maximilian Dude is working with modder Rin, Wistful Hopes on Twitter, to make a cel-shaded mod for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Cool.
It looks pretty nice. Like they're showing early shots of it, and it's already looking nice. It looks a lot more like Tatsunoko vs. Capcom with the shaders they're putting in.
Oh, damn. That is really incredible looking.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I feel like I should put the before and after, but that's a lot of work.
Right, that's
And we
complicated.
don't want to spend too long here. So here's the after. Yeah, that looks way nicer than that game looked originally.
Right? That's nothing like the original game, basically.
That's dope as shit.
But yeah, he's actually commissioning them to put this mod together, and hopefully he's hoping that this reignites like the passion for the game because he's always been a fan of it.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Here's the original image. Yeah, that other one looked a little better.
Yeah, just a little bit.
It's just, I like to think Ryu is a human and not some fucked up robot cadaver you stretch skin over.
Man, what the fuck was wrong with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite? Like, how bad? Like, I get on some level Disney fucked them, but everything about that was so embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm betting that also, like, they probably made them launch it super early. I don't know what film was around there, though, so it'd be like, oh, we need to get around here to promote
I think
something.
it was 20. I remember that was around the same time as Fighters, because it got immediate. Like, it was like, look how dog shit this is compared to Fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, now we get to talk about the most hype news.
Yeah, the Bloodstained.
Hell yeah.
The next update, the 1.5 update, comes out May 9th for PS4, Xbox One, PC, and May 16th for Switch. And that's going to add the Chaos mode and the Versus mode, which are the online modes. A cosmetic pack, one that's free, and one that's DLC that's be paid for.
Mm-hmm.
And the free one has like Shantae outfit and stuff. And then that finishes off all the Kickstarter rewards. They're done. They're out. Finally.
They're finally free.
They still have coming up the classic mode 2, which will be apparently canon. Like, that's canon story to this game.
Dope. I love the classic mode.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
And this one he plays Dominique. We don't know when that's coming,
Okay.
but that will be paid for. That is not included. In the sense they got everything that's with the Kickstarter reward, that means they're finally going to ship out the physical copies of the PC version, which they already sent everyone a PC code that had a physical copy.
Okay. That's good, at least.
Yeah, it's insane that they waited this long for that.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So if you did order that, go update your
shipping
address,
info. Yeah,
because it's probably not going to match from 8 years ago or
seems
something.
unlikely that it will match. Okay, let's move on to Chris news.
Okay. Square Enix has declared a $150 million loss on canceled projects in accordance with their new strategy of hopefully not making the worst game of the year every single year. In fact, I actually prepared a list of games that, in my opinion, Square Enix shouldn't have shipped, or at the very least should not have shipped anything like how they shipped.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to read this list now. It goes back to the beginning of 2018, so slightly more than 6 years.
Oh my god.
Dissidia NT.
Yeah.
Secret of Mana remake.
Yeah.
The Quiet Man. Left Alive.
Oh god.
Marvel's Avengers.
All right, that was them.
Oninaki. Balan Wonderworld.
What? Really?
The Crystal Chronicles remaster. Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier. That game's already dead, by the way.
Yeah,
Yep.
of course.
Babylon's Fall. The Diofield Chronicle.
Yep.
Probably the most contentious one, but I think this is in the they shouldn't have shipped it how they shipped it thing. Valkyrie Elysium.
Yep.
Yeah, I liked it, but they
Forspoken.
shouldn't have been.
I think everyone who played it can agree that should have been more. Yeah. What was the most recent one? What was after that?
Forspoken.
Of course.
Infinity Strash. Chocopo GP. And Foam Stars.
Man, they really should have, I'm sure Infinity Strash probably sold.
No, that thing was like that thing was gutted down to bargain bin prices in Japan instantly.
God,
Nobody wanted that piece of shit.
This whole list is so fucking rotten.
Yeah. No, they definitely have some quality control issues.
It's really weird because, back in the PS1 era, they did turn out a ton of games, but a lot of them were goated with the sauce.
Right.
Meanwhile, Foam
They're
Stars.
they're still turning out that many games, and a lot of them are good. They're just turning out way too many and not looking at them until it's too late.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like they're turning out twice as many as they did back then. It feels like, and it feels like half of them are this tier you're talking about. Because obviously, we didn't even talk about Various Day Life or Harvestella or trying to think of another middle tier budgeted one that was actually good. Middle or low.
Star Ocean was all right.
Star Ocean's second story are all the remasters of their earlier games except for the Chrono Cross one and Crystal Chronicles have been real solid. And they fixed Chrono Cross. Those pixel remasters are solid, in my opinion, the best way to play those old Final Fantasy games. They've been making all the right moves with Mana. You know, after the Secret of Mana remake, they were like, okay, we'll do Trials. That did real good. Okay, we'll do a Legend remaster. That's real good. Here's Visions of Mana that seems like it has exactly the right amount of money.
Doesn't Legend of Mana have the issue Chrono Cross had at launch, but they never let you disable the upscale blur thing?
I don't think it has upscale blur.
Yeah, I thought it did.
The backgrounds are like enhanced, but they don't look like that. They're not smudged to shit or anything. It looks like an artist did it, or like they upscaled it and then had an artist touch it up.
Okay.
But I played through that whole thing and I never felt like, after extensively playing the original, and I never felt like it.
Okay.
Like obliterated the art anyway. So good. Like, I can't spend this entire podcast, the whole thing, every single episode, oh my god, bitching at them for not doing this and then doomsay about them doing this.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I gotta hope that they looked at the things they canceled and went, oh, maybe we better not.
Yeah, because if going forward it looks like the last 6 years, there are a lot of projects.
There were too many. One could easily assess. It's a good thing Final Fantasy XIV's financially been holding up everything, because God knows that is the most profitable game they've ever fucking been. Well, yeah,
by a fucking landslide, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I
that
stumbled into that
we are
realization through the
the Final Fantasy 15 mobile game makes a shitload of money.
Yeah,
like an astronomical amount, but
Which
I don't
is
think
crazy.
it doesn't make as much as 14. But yeah, like, can't bitch about them not looking at these games until the end and being like, oh, we're looking at them and now we're going to get rid of these and be more stringent in the future.
yeah. I just worried because the words they used to describe it might easily apply to a thing like Various Day Life or Harvestella.
Right. Yeah. The
Yeah,
thought of getting out
but I gotta hope
entirely.
that they aren't completely. They've made the correct so many correct decisions also, that I feel like I should give them at least the benefit of the doubt. Because like we talked about, they made all the right choices with Mana.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they rebuilt it up to the point where they could do a big one. The Live a Live remake was the correct decision. They even marketed it correctly. All the things they've been picking to remaster are pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I'm just worried
really
they're going
just
to
seems like they're
evaporate any space below AAA game, because that's kind of how the press release read, that they want to focus more on bigger titles and not so many smaller ones, and that would include Various Day Life and Harvestella. Like in a dream world, Harvestella gets a AAA budget and then people pay attention to the game, but that producer or director fucking left.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So clearly something like that is not in the cards if he was willing to just leave.
We'll just have to see.
Yeah, like hopefully like that Saga game does well and they keep making those.
I
that's
assume
very firmly in
the creator of Saga is a fucking executive.
Yeah,
that shit will happen until he's gone.
Yeah, it's literally their safest AA IP.
I honestly wonder if part of this isn't like, okay, because Square Enix is one of the few big Japanese publishers that has not announced a massive expansion in their development capabilities in the past couple of years. Like Nintendo did, Capcom did,
Konami even did.
We talked about Koei Tecmo just did. So maybe they're like, we don't actually have enough people on these bigger games we want to make. We need to move some of these people who are making these small things that maybe aren't looking so hot over to these bigger projects so they can ship in a reasonable amount of time. Because Also, there's a fucking rumor that the Final Fantasy also rumored Final Fantasy IX remake was one of the things hit. To which I say, it was supposed to be out 2 years ago. It probably wasn't looking too hot.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
like if it was a AAA thing, we'd have heard about it already. Like we would have seen it. They'd have shown it at some point.
Something's up there. And that game is definitely real. It was in the NVIDIA leak, which has been wrong about literally nothing.
I mean, when that Unreal 5 but like art project for 9, Gamatsu was like, we know this exists. They just openly said it's like, yeah, to our understanding is that the Final Fantasy IX remake exists. But like, you can't do like what you're gonna remake the world's prettiest second prettiest PS1 game on the scale of Trials of Mana. Like, no, cancel that shit. Fuck you. What are you, stupid?
I assume that game probably, because it has Final Fantasy in the title, it's safer than a lot of things would be over there. It is definitely in some form of development hell, because that NVIDIA leak was 2019.
Yeah,
right?
2019.
So that means it's been 5 years?
I think that and Onimusha are like the only two, and Kingdom Hearts 4 are like the only things that were on that list that have not come out, but I haven't looked at it in a while. Oh, and the Final Fantasy Tactics remaster.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was another one.
Oh, yeah, that one's... I don't know what's up with that.
Just takes a long time. They let it cook. They are also changing the name of their studios from Creative Business Unit to Creative Studio.
That's good.
That makes a lot of fucking sense.
Creative Business Unit was such a bad name.
So
it was terrible in a really fun way. Creative Studio was just kind of lame.
I don't know.
But like, if you're not going to name it something good, leave it that cool bad thing you had.
So the Final Fantasy 14 is now Creative Studio 3 rather than Creative Business Unit 3.
The business, like, putting business in the title makes it feel so stuffy and lame.
Yeah, of course. When I go to get pizza, I don't want my chefs to be referred to as my pizza business unit.
Right.
But then like the Creative Business Unit 3 had such like a dramatic logo for their name and like cool text, but it says Creative Business Unit 3.
The Clash was funny, yes.
This is a rumor, but whatever. It's almost certainly true. Who fucking cares? Like, Todd Howard came out and halfway addressed it.
Right.
Microsoft wants to fast track a new Fallout after the success of the Fallout show. Are they fucking stupid?
I'm sure Obsidian will be willing.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That.
I was gonna be like, okay, Microsoft, you get a studio that isn't Bethesda but has experience in games like Bethesda makes. And then you have them make a new Fallout game that is a slightly smaller scope using all of the assets and mechanics from Fallout 4.
A thing that should have happened.
Something you should have started
sooner.
3 years ago at least.
You could even have them set it in a wildly different location, because the Bethesda Fallouts are all on the East Coast. So you could have it set in the West. Yeah,
you think? You think that would work?
So the two continuities don't have to touch each other, and fans of neither get upset.
Wow, this sounds like a really good idea. They should have considered this. If only there was a playbook they could have gone by to get this rolling sooner. Do they even know who they buy?
No, they don't.
That's chillingly possible. That there is an air gap. And the people who actually make large-scale decisions don't understand which studios they own.
Yeah, you think you could have seen anything? First of all, you shouldn't have had the plan. The plan should never have been there's going to be a 10-year gap between Fallout games.
Right.
Because what? Same with the Elder Scrolls.
Because when did Fallout come out? When did Fallout 4 come out? Wasn't it not 2015?
It's something like that.
So it's been 9 years. It's going to be way more than 10.
Yeah.
This shit's going to be like 14, 13. This is going to be ridiculous.
What a stupid plan.
Jesus Christ. This is why people think gaming is dying.
Right.
It's because these motherfucking companies, for whatever reason, can't just make a sequel to a game.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, we need to reinvent the wheel.
We have to waste everyone's time making Starfield.
I'm like, wow, you reinvented the wheel going from Fallout 3 to Fallout 4. How did that go for you? Maybe just make a sequel that's like the same but better. Like better? No.
Different.
All right.
God, it's going to be longer than 14 years. Fallout 4 was in 2015.
When was Fallout 76?
That doesn't.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Their brain, that counts.
They do count it in their brain.
Yeah, they also count the Elder Scrolls Online.
Exactly.
And literally no Skyrim fan I know remotely thinks the same.
I know, but their stupid corporate brains don't work. Period. And they count these games they shouldn't.
Right.
It's just like the Batman thing of like, yeah, people would probably be fine with this MetaQuest one coming out if there was a new Batman Arkham game coming out.
Right. Instead of we waited forever for Suicide Squad and it fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, we spent the development time of the entire Arkham series making Suicide Squad kills the Justice League.
Do we have any other Microsoft is dumb news?
Yes, we do. This is coming from Jez Corden. He said all this shit and then walked it back a little bit and said, well, I'm combining my opinion with what I know. It's all games coming to PlayStation, even Forza and Halo.
Duh.
Yeah.
Xbox will be quote unquote Steam-like in the future.
Rinsed.
Next Xbox will sideload Steam and be niche hardware for super fans. He directly compared it to the Steam Deck.
What? The worst part will be the positioning themselves like they're still Xbox and they're still just as important.
Yep.
Honestly, I'm wondering, like, when's the point where they're just like, we don't need to have marketing shows, our own marketing show anymore? Because I feel like that's part of why they canceled BlizzCon, it feels like. Although multiple people are like, yeah, Blizzard actually lost money on BlizzCon. It was like a thing. It was a marketing thing that did not make as much money as it cost because it was a marketing thing.
Right. That's how that works.
Right.
And then Microsoft went, well, I don't get it. I don't understand. Cancel it.
Big companies are very smart.
Cool.
Internally, Microsoft's just like, we're never selling hardware again. Like, it's over. We're not coming back from this. There is no coming back. We do not expect hardware to grow ever.
Oh, okay. They are selling hardware. They don't expect it to grow. God damn, they are doomers.
I mean,
they could fix it. The problem is that they can't fix it.
Right. No, the problem is that's not the plan.
Now.
Someone could fix it 100%, especially having the backing of one of the richest companies mankind has ever known.
If they were willing to burn money for a decade, maybe.
It's not about that, which is what we're learning. You can't sit there and have strategies like fucking Game Pass and be like, well, we burned a lot of money on it. It's like, yeah, you also salted the fucking earth for game sales.
But you'd have to burn money in an unsexy way. And that's what tech companies hate. You'd have to burn money by being like, we're taking a loss on our hardware. We're getting rid of paid online. We're acquiring this valuable content that's exclusive to our platform. It doesn't matter if it doesn't make money. Long term, it's re-attracting people to our platform. And nobody's going to make that decision.
You would have to do things that Phil Spencer and Matt Booty have proved time and time again they're incapable of doing. Making studios, fostering studios, hiring employees, and building a pedigree in history. A technology base to go forward with to make the fucking video games.
No investment, only reaping.
Very explicit. Nothing will be exclusive. It's not everything will be not everything will be multi-plat except for these core tentpole franchises. Nothing. Again, reminder, Xbox hardware sales are already basically at zero.
When the Master Chief Collection comes to PlayStation, Halo will be the most relevant it has been since Halo Reach.
I just like,
like I cast the spell that uncorked his soul and it's pouring out of him.
Yeah.
this whole thing, this process. It reads like a person who just stepped on a rake turning to step on another rake. Because the company's like, okay, well, we fucked up being a hardware producer, so we're going to stop that and we're going to transition into being a publisher, which is the thing you fucked up so hard it killed your hardware division.
Yep.
Somebody crunched the numbers, and if you take Activision out of the equation, Xbox lost money last year.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, I saw those tweets about that.
And apparently even Activision isn't as profitable. Like Microsoft bought them and profitability immediately went down.
Yeah.
Like Warzone Mobile isn't doing as good as they want. A bunch of shit isn't doing as good as they want.
This process took so long, they literally bought Activision at their worst.
Yeah.
They also overpaid a lot.
Yeah, they did.
Of course.
There was also some stuff that it quite literally was as simple as executives saw $80 billion leave the money we have column and went, you better start making some fucking money.
Yeah, the sort of oversight this division should have had the whole fucking time. Maybe put some fire underneath their fucking asses. Like, literally, this entire fucking initiative has stagnated and rotted since the launch of the Xbox One when Phil Spencer was put in. The only initiative successfully executed is Game Pass. And you can't succeed with that business model, so good fucking job. Every single other franchise fell into fucking ruin. Countless studios shut the fuck down. The entire user base lost. I watched this dude on Twitch. His name's Jank Jesus. Dude grew up with an Xbox original, had a ton of love for the Xbox brand, which I understand. I had an Xbox original as well. I love it. It did so many cool things, and the 360 is a great console. Listen to this man talk about the Xbox One launch and how he fell out. Just made me go, yeah, there are millions like him. Millions.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but
there was nothing on the horizon. What the fuck were they supposed to be excited for?
I don't know.
And maybe just one time, we could fire someone whose fault this actually is.
Right?
That'd be
That
nice.
is the thing that is the most infuriating about this. Matt Booty's fine. Phil Spencer's fine. Literally the two main people responsible for the studios and the projects that keep getting canceled and studios getting shut down. Nothing. They'll be fine. Forever. Phil Spencer's going to be in charge of his Steam side-loading Xbox portable / super console. And he's going to be like, this is great. I accomplished my goals.
Game Pass.
If that's even still going, I feel like Game Pass has to stop at some point.
No, Game Pass doesn't. I don't know, because so few PC people engage with it because it sucks. Because doing anything through Microsoft's apps is dog shit.
Yeah.
Right?
And if every Xbox player just leaves Xbox, if there's no longer an Xbox for them to exist in, they can't be getting Game Pass on it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it feels like they will destroy the whole company before deleting Game Pass, which seems insane.
Did we talk about them changing the price of Game Pass in certain regions because people were using VPN tricks to stack Game Pass in cheaper regions? And apparently this was an enormous problem, like literally I was told 6 digits of Game Pass subscribers were being like, I switched to this where it's like $30 a year and stack 3 years and then switch my region back.
It's pretty good.
This is pretty smart. I should have done that.
Last Microsoft news. Starfield got a major update that added 40 frames per second, 60 frames per second, and uncapped frame rate modes.
Cool.
Or we'll be getting a major update in May. Yeah, this May. Boy, it's CPU bottleneck. There's no way for the Series X to have 60 frames a second, even though the Series S can and its CPU is a potato. Gee, it turns out that that's just a fucking lie.
What? Never.
Look,
It's almost like that game shipped really early.
Yeah, it wasn't a lie when they shipped it. Man, I bet Microsoft really harmed that game by rushing it. Man, I bet Microsoft has made several classical errors, a comedy of errors over there at Xbox, all in a row that led up to the moment where this shipped really early, even though it definitely needed at least one more year.
They would never do that, though.
They sure are openly talking about how, the game didn't have an ending until like 4 months before it came out. I had to like rush to make the climax of that game.
Holy shit.
I'm going to let you in on a secret, bro. That game didn't have an ending after it launched either.
Yeah,
Right.
That's what it sounded like on Game of the Year. All right.
That's with all this Microsoft stuff. It sucks that we were so right about them. I'm not happy about us being right, but it certainly has happened.
Right. Everyone acts like, oh, that smug doctor saying I was terminal and now I'm dying. It's like, no, they didn't want you to be terminal.
They saw that you.
It's not even terminal. It's like that smug doctor saying I should quit smoking. Well, I kept smoking for 30 years and then got lung cancer and am now dying.
Yeah.
You have to stop eating red meat.
I tried.
No, you didn't.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, it's like me posting the fucking Goku heart attack images of just like me finding out the hard way that I can't eat all the fried chicken I want to just because I'm working out. Ugh, God.
Cholesterol.
No. Yeah, let's move on.
Okay. Take-Two has begun their 600 layoffs. Roll 7 and Intercept Games are shutting down. Roll 7 made Ollie Ollie and Rollerdrome.
Fuck you.
Yeah, games that both sold well and reviewed super well.
Fuck you.
What is wrong with you?
Fuck you.
They just bought them.
Fuck you.
And Intercept Games, who made Kerbal Space Program 2.
Which I heard that had a lot of bad Steam reviews when it first launched and shouldn't have launched in the state it did at all. So
yeah.
They're also Private Division, the publisher, the publishing arm that published Outer Worlds and Penny's Big Breakaway just this year, seemingly just slashed. It's gone.
Yeah, that's insane. I feel like a ton of stuff was published by Private Division over the last several years.
Shitloads.
It's I'm willing to bet that every big publisher is now entering there's about to be some kind of economic problem. We're not giving money to anybody. It's over. Unless we own it, we're not giving people a cent.
Fucking insane.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Hasbro has says they're devoting $1 billion to D&D games after Baldur's Gate 3 was successful. Maybe they shouldn't have burned that bridge.
Right.
Maybe they shouldn't have completely torched that relationship.
Man,
Gamer Premonition. How many games from this initiative will actually ship?
I bet the people who made Baldur's Gate 3 would have appreciated $1 billion check.
Dan.
How many? Well, we need a timeline, right? Because how do we call it?
Well, by the time Hasbro goes out of business in 5 years.
Okay, we'll say 5 years. How many do they ship in the next 5 years? They spent $1 billion. 3.
Bob.
I bet they get one at most.
Aggro.
Like getting
Without-
a AAA game out.
Without counting their VTT, I'm thinking 2 and 1 is a phone game.
Oh, God, that
I'm
doesn't
also
count.
going to think 2. It will be one AAA scale thing that is total dog shit and everybody hates, and it will be one smaller thing that will possibly have it be a terrible multiplayer thing.
God, they are going to pay some poor schmucks to try and make Baldur's Gate, and it's going to be so sad.
The darkest yet funniest timeline. They go to EA and say, "Can you have BioWare make Baldur's Gate 4?"
Oh my God.
Oh my God. No.
We will give you $500 million to give us Dreadwolf. We're changing all the nouns.
Dreadwolf, they keep swearing to God that Dreadwolf's coming out this year, and I kind of believe them no matter how bad that game will be when it comes out.
This is a strong year in gaming.
Did you know that Zao game I played was an EA original?
No.
Yes, I did know that because I looked at the list of EA originals recently.
I did not know. There were rumors of this next bit of news for the last couple weeks, but we decided, we'll talk about it when it happens because it just seems so incredibly certain and not a long-term thing we would have to wait forever for.
Sony and Apollo Global Management, a fucking asset management firm.
God, I wondered what that was.
They own fucking let's see. They own Siri or manage Yahoo, Sirius Satellite Radio, Legendary Entertainment, Redbox, Shutterfly, University of Phoenix.
Oh, these are all over the place, and some of them are really deep. They're like really bad.
This is a devil company. Like this is everybody involved with this company should probably not be alive.
Okay,
like they're the dark evil. Like they're more evil than normal money guys. But they joined forces with Sony and made a $26 billion cash offer to buy Paramount.
Quick question. Just want to see if any of my co-hosts know, because I think they might. They're very smart people. Why the fuck did they do this?
Because they must own everything.
Because we are in a stage of capitalism where there is only one action left.
Yeah, they just have to absorb it all.
They have to eat themselves. That's the only thing we can do.
It's so the FTC better stop this. Somebody needs to stop them.
The FTC's pretty active, and there's still a possibility that they rip Activision away from Blizzard. I mean, away from Microsoft, which would be fucking funny.
It would be hilarious. It would. Because their plan, Microsoft's roadmap, looks sad and dour already with that not happening. If that happens, fucking hilarious.
Yeah, because the only thing supporting that company now, in all that branch, is that.
Jesus.
Oh.
Fuck this. They better fucking stop this.
Yeah, they better not. Come on. They're like, oh, we're making the God of War show with Paramount. We should just own them. Oh, wait, no, that was Amazon. Never mind.
Yeah, I was like, I thought that was an Amazon thing, and I don't know who's making it,
right?
But Amazon's funding it. And our last bit of news, the most important news of the day. Wait, what was that phrase we're supposed to say some more of? This is someone's dream game.
Yeah. Tom Clancy's they took that away.
They took out the
XDefiant XDefiant launches May 21st. I wonder if all its momentum is now gone and it's just going to immediately fall through the core of the earth.
It's really funny how all these studios are like, yeah, just ship these trash service games that we were working on. Just ship them.
This one got good buzz. And then they delayed it indefinitely for almost a full year. I'm wondering if this is just going to be like, well, you didn't give people enough time now. You're not making a big enough deal for this. Well, you couldn't ship this 2 months later after your stupid fucking Ubisoft Direct thing this summer? Re-put it into the minds of people. Okay, well, I guess your thing that you were betting on as a Call of Duty competitor. I'm sure it'll do fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure Ubisoft won't be out of business in 3 years.
They posted, what was it? This was delayed from third quarter, I think, last year to now. So it really was 7 months.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be September.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's such a huge delay.
Yeah.
I hope this game's good. One of the reasons they said they pushed it back is because the netcode was bad and people kept warning them, and then they did one level of testing and approved it instantly. And they were like, "Oh, we need to fix this." Yeah, we've been telling you.
Well, hopefully they fixed it then.
Hopefully 7 months is enough time to fix something like that. And if it isn't, oh my God, why did you make the game? Why did the people above you make the game? Anyways, that's it for news. Chris is still taking his break, which is all good. Go rest up, King. Save your money on that shed, or what was it?
A dump trailer.
Thank you.
I didn't have to rent it as long.
That's you do it. Bob and I in Aggro will be live tomorrow with Devil May Cry 4. My first time seeing it since watching
And this
Bleach.
is a special edition. It's going to be hype.
Bob's going to rinse this game easily. He's going to be so strong. I'm really excited. Are you excited, Aggro?
I am excited.
Yeah, you've learned so much about Dante and all of his friends, and now
Got a wide open day. I finally get to see Johnny Young Bosch in one of these games. I've got a bottle of whiskey.
Oh shit! Nice.
Yeah, you haven't seen this game at all yet, right?
No, I've seen like a couple still images of this game. That's it.
This is
Four I just blanked on.
This is gonna be good. So I hope you're all excited. And we will see you after that again next week for a big thing to mention. Goodbye. Oh, that's 2 songs at once. Okay, there we go. Winamp, open all songs. More! More! Thank you very much for listening to this episode of Big Thick Dimension. Big Thick Dimension is possible because of you over at patreon.com/GB Podcast, who give us the funding necessary to keep it up, keep it high quality, and keep it going as we do this and many other podcasts like Pokemon Go to the Movies, Chugging Bleach, and so much more. You can get access to cut content from Armchair Devs and other series like Gamer Premonitions and watch the movie Isolation 119. That's patreon.com/GB Podcast.